Welcome, everybody, to AVGL's Collegiate League of Legends Championship. I'm Alexander OPL Archambault. Joining for the cast today is Coco the Dragon. Coco, how you doing down there?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I live here in Colorado, and it's raining outside. So even though it's downpouring outside, inside, we've got some really good League of Legends up ahead of us. So I'm really excited for tonight.
Yeah, for our first best of two, we have Georgia State University Paradox taking on Embry Riddle Gold Wings. And Georgia, they kind of need to win this series because right now they're 1-1 in their respective best of twos. So if they want to make it into the elimination bracket, they need to keep on winning these games.
Yeah, and Embry Riddle is a very formidable opponent to go up and challenge themselves against because you have a lot of key players that like to play extremely aggressively. I'm talking about the bot lane mostly, as well as the jungle. Lamb and Wolf in the jungle, he loves to play those aggressive junglers. We just saw go 17-7 on a Kayn previously in one of the series, which was brutal. And Oreo, he loves this Tristana as well. So we're going to be seeing some bloody games on their side.
Well, it looks like we're already into the champion select, so we're going to go on over into that. We already have some of those picks coming on through, and I'm excited to see how this one pans out because we do have a couple roster changes, not the same players we've seen play in the last couple games, especially for Georgia. They're not running their regular mid laner, Linda. Instead, have brought on Atinas, and that could be a target for some trouble on their team.
Yeah, and for Tinas, he is ranked gold 4 at the moment. So already that puts up a big red flag. Is he mechanically sort of like apt enough to challenge the team of Embry Riddle and their mid laner, where their mid laner I think is resting at Diamond 3 right now, as a matter of fact, for I Drink Bleach. So that's already a challenge that they're going to be facing. Jungle pressure might be focused around there. And as we see already in the pick and ban phase, you have an aggressive jungler on the side of Embry Riddle.
Yeah, and you also have that Tristana you mentioned earlier. So already a couple comfort picks they were able to pick up here. Meanwhile, on Georgia State right now, we do see a Vel'Koz being locked in. That could go possibly in the mid or in the support role, depending on how they set themselves up in the lobby. We're not too sure if they're actually in the order they're going to be playing in, as Forgotten is usually the support member for the team.
Yeah, and we just saw the Rakan ban being put out. I was actually a little bit scared for Embry Riddle because you still had the Zyre. Rakan was still open on the table, and you're like, well, maybe they could get it, but they were smart enough to ban it out in that opinion. They already picked their bottom lane of Tristana and Thresh, so they want to make sure that that will be as dominant as they want it to be, especially with Solaire's playmaking ability and his style, too. He really likes to get in the face of the enemy AD carry.
And you also now have a couple of top lane bans here for Georgia. They don't want to see that Cho'Gath either in the jungle or top lane. It's been flexed evenly. I doubt it would have went into the jungle as the Warwick was picked up, but that would have been devastating. Don't want to see that Maokai either. And right now they're hovering the Poppy, and they're going to lock in a Poppy right here for Embry.
All right, that's a little bit of an interesting pick because you don't see it too much right now in the meta because her ultimate forcing sort of disengagement can apply a lot of objective control and provide you a good amount of beneficial sort of attributes to team fighting, being able to take away carries or being able to take away a front line very effectively. With a Garen being hovered over, actually, there's the Dr. Moon lock in. So he doesn't have that much flexibility in a sense of escapes. He has to stick on you, and he doesn't really have any gap closers whatsoever outside of his cleaver. So he can be knocked away, and it'll take him a while to run back. But if you miss those disengaging tools on the side of Embry Riddle, Mundo can just be a complete nuisance and allow so much freedom for his carries.
Yeah, and we're going to have a TF getting locked in here for the mid lane. So going to have to be able to roam around the map once they hit level 6 with that. Have to try and get the other lanes going here. You know, we mentioned that Poppy pick getting picked up here. She isn't going to be stopping any dashes, really. The only one that she can stop is Sejuani.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So it's more of not sort of a counterability to the flexibility or initiation of the side of GSU. It's more of just being that pure tank, building up, making sure that she's pretty much immortal and indestructible so the rest of her team can have that flexibility to find picks, find targets, position correctly, and so on. Warwick, actually kind of works like Kayn, where he's just that nuisance in that back line. He has the tools to get there, to get onto your AD carry, and to stick there, but unlike Kayn, is actually pretty darn tanky.
Yeah, and their team also has a lot of artillery in their carries right now. You have a Xerath from that mid lane that's just going to be throwing out Qs from long range there and using that
Yep.
ultimate. And then once that Tristana hits about that level 13 to 14, she's not going to be very close enough for the other members to really try and get onto her because really you're honestly relying on this Sejuani to somehow hit one of these carries in the backline, because if you get rid of them, you deny so much damage in this comp because you only have a Xerath and a Tristana. Warwick, depending on how he builds, can do a lot of damage, but I'm expecting him to go a little bit more tanky.
Yeah, I'm expecting some tankiness on his side as well. Possibly a Titanic Hydra, Dead Man's Plate, those kind of tools to sort of get into that backline and still deal a considerable amount of damage. And then, as you said, yeah, you have to wait for your carries to come online for Drink, Bleach, and Oreo. Get those energized attacks with the Static Shiv and Rapid Fire Cannon. And get, I think it's the Morellonomicon and just a Void Staff, really, just to shred through that magic resist for Drink, Bleach. Because Dr. Mundo, some people do forget that his new E, it did get reworked, and the more damage he takes, the more powerful his magic resist is. It's increased by 1%, and I believe it's up to 30% at max rank on E. So it's pretty considerable when it comes into that play.
No, you're going to have to be building Grievous Wounds items, either a Morello in the mid lane, or you're going to have to get that Executioner's Calling quite early once you start getting into those team fights, because honestly, there's not going to be a way of anyone really denying him his healing. And with that Twisted Fate getting locked in for Georgia, we now reveal that the Vel'Koz will likely be going down to this bot lane, also going to be running Ignite, and I find this is a very unstable matchup because if Thresh isn't able to land any hooks onto this Vel'Koz, they are going to have a rough time with this.
It is definitely going to be a rough time because with Vel'Koz running Ignite, it sort of is that high risk, high reward factor in the bottom lane. Because Xayah, once she hits 6, can kind of take care of herself with the disengagement that she can do with Featherstorm. And then Vel'Koz is kind of left there out in the open. And it applies that sort of focus the support mindset for the side of Oreo and Solaire, because Vel'Koz is actually much more squishy than Xayah would be just on base health stats. So focusing him down, focusing down that support that can provide that massive amount of damage at any stage of the game could be the key factor for converting that bottom lane into an all-around early advantage for the side of Embry Riddle.
And yeah, Embry can really just get out of control if they do punish this Vel'Koz, if they're able to land that CC, get those hooks, because once you burn that flash, Vel'Koz doesn't really have a way of escaping, and Xayah has no CC to follow up there. Now, going back, though, over to Georgia, we mentioned that TF has to go around these lanes and try and get Xayah and Vel'Koz to a point where they can really punish this bot lane, I feel, because if he isn't going to be roaming from mid, I feel like that pick is... It really hurts, I feel, Twisted Fate if you don't use that ultimate well in getting your other lane snowballing, because you kind of are a second jungler in that aspect. You go roam around and then return back to your lane. Xerath being, though, he has lots of wave clear and really can push this TF in if they're not able to make plays with it.
Yeah, and with Twisted Fate, it's another sort of sense that with the roaming that you bring in, you got to look at the other side of Embry Riddle, where their team, they don't really have that many specified targets for the Twisted Fate. You just have Xerath and you have Tristana, but you have Solaire's Thresh, which can provide a good amount of disengage. And not to mention, I'll bring back up the Poppy ultimate. Twisted Fate's ultimate for Destiny tells you where he's going to be. So Poppy can just literally wind it up and just knock him away if he's in any range whatsoever for it. So there's not a lot of tools to find picks for him in the later stages of the game. He has to make advantages early, hit level 6 fairly quick against his laning opponent, and then go find movements elsewhere. Work with your jungler, work with your top laner, work with your bot lane, and let them provide the crowd control for you so you can bring that damage that they need to secure the kills.
Well, it looks like we're getting past that spectator delay, so we're going to be going right into the match quite shortly, folks. So make sure to leave your guys' thoughts. Who do you think is going to take this? Will Georgia get the first game here, or will Embry be able to answer and get that game won here? This is a very important matchup, especially for Georgia, if they really want to make it on through to the knockout stage. Only 2 teams from each group can make it forward. Houston right now, I believe, is at the top of theirs.
Yeah, I believe so. So it's going to be really a crucial game here for both this game and then the next one coming. They need to get both points as much as they can to build themselves back up into their sort of bracket. So loading into the game here, again, it's something that I'm a little bit concerned for the side of GSU Paradox in the way that they sort of built their composition. But again, with high risk, high reward, if you're able to land everything and plan it all perfectly, it can just be an utterly dominant fight.
Well, I can see that. We're loaded onto the Rift, guys. So I'm ready to see how this one pans out right now. I can already see we have a disconnect, so we're going to go straight into a pause and hopefully get that sorted out, you know. Want to make sure the players are playing on even footing right there. Don't want anybody lagging. So all fair. They got about, I believe it's 3 phases of 3 minutes in the pause time. So I think it's up to 9 minutes they're allowed to pause before they just have to play it out.
Yeah, and it looks like that, for me, Plasma is already reconnected. So we might be heading back in here fairly shortly. It was just a client bug, needed to restart and get back into the game. So we'll be looking into that. But it will give us a little bit more time for just sort of theory crafting how this game upcoming is going to be turning out, because I don't expect any real level 1 cheese in this one. Because you have Solaris Hook, where that might be the aggression. They might be looking for a potential first blood, but nothing really outside of that. I'm just trying to get an advantage early.
Well, looks like we're out of that pause. We're going to go ahead and see what our level 1 has in store for us. Actually, all 5 members of GSU have grouped up in this bot side. I think they're expecting to get invaded. Yeah,
I'm expecting that too, because Solaire, you expect it with sort of that Thresh hook, with a Blitzcrank hook, one of those champions that provides a good amount of crowd control to help solidify a kill. Even Braum too. Braum's really good at level 1 as well. But it doesn't look like Embry is really planning for that. You can see on the minimap they're just doing a defensive layout, making sure that Lamb is going to be having his very comfortable start. So the team isn't looking for anything early, but this also provides a sense of, will Lamb do something in the early stages for his jungle pathing? Because Warwick, he has a pretty decent jungle clear. He can be pretty aggressive at times, but I'm not expecting any level 2 ganks from him. But from Plasma, he could be doing something just as well. Get the rush on the level 2, let his bot lane push out, or let his mid lane get pushed in, and then look for a potential kill or just a summoner exhaust on those sides.
Yeah, you can see Problem Child has actually gone ahead and warded up that blue buff. So if Plasma decides not to gank at level 2, they will have full knowledge of his clear path. And then Poppy can, again, Problem Child himself, that ward will pay off, because then he shouldn't be pushing up into this Mundo right away. Because I feel like a Poppy actually has the ability to push in a Mundo quite early.
Yeah, Poppy does have the capability because of her Q that can do that % damage and just sort of crush down a backline or a front line of minions pretty effectively, but Mundo can sustain in a lane fairly well, even during pre-6, because he can just throw out cleavers, do basic damage, because it doesn't scale off of anything outside of your current health against the target. So it's something that can be very harassing at any stage in the game, and really can provide him a pretty safe environment for him to just farm up and get to his tanky phase.
I can already see some poking happening down in that bot side. Level 2 hitting up and top side for Problem Child. Going to try and get a little bit of harass on there, but like you said, it's a Mundo. He's going to sustain that right back up with a couple cleavers. And we got to see if we're going to see any kind of special activity. You can see Bush right now in mid lane getting poked out hard here.
Yeah, Bush is not liking his laning phase whatsoever. Xerath's laning phase is just always brutal, but a nice hook there onto Scarlet. Gets a good trade there in the bottom lane, so that's what Solaire and Oreo are going to be looking for. Anything to just get that harass early. Don't let Forgotten's Vel'Koz get any damage back onto you. But for Vel'Koz, it's sort of that level 4 power spike is when his damage really starts to be considerable.
And you can see Bush right there. It's very telegraphed when he walks up into that lane and gets that gold card out, because really, he has to walk up within range of I Drink Bleach to really land an easy stun. If he's not, besides some minions, Warwick isn't around that top side, going to pick up that Scuttle Crab, so they're going to have a lot of vision if Plasma decides to try and go for this up and top side.
Yep, and so with that, Tynus taking some damage there back and forth, but Ward being spotted out by Plasma. Lamb did get that Scuttler in the river, so he'll be able to keep his own vision down there as well. He's slightly ahead of the jungle clear pathing here in the early stages against Plasma, but you expect that out of a Warwick. And still, it's just a consistent struggle of Bush right now. I feel that Plasma will have to bring some attention in there soon, because he cannot, he can't last much longer.
No, you cannot allow that Zeref to land those Qs. Even he's getting it quite far away, too.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot Bush can do. I Shoot Plasma is around the corner. If they want to try and go for a gank, they use that blasting cone. You can see the pings are coming out onto it up in top side. Poppy's going to at least interrupt it, and that's the great thing. If this Sejuani goes for a gank, Tynus is going down quite low. They do land the stun onto Problem Child. He should be able to walk away.
Yeah, he was able to get a pretty good trade onto that, even though Tynus is now bleeding red. But when he is bleeding red, you are always cautious of the Warwick being able to smell your scent and drag you down. Solaire getting another good hook.
Oh, Solaire going down very low. Scarlet Desire decides to turn back around. Beautiful interrupt onto Oreo down in bot side. Looks like, though, no one's going down just yet. Forgotten Legend had to use that flash and ignite, so he's going to be able to walk away. That knock-up was huge, though, in keeping him alive.
Well, that knock-up was crucial, and it was actually a perfect 3 summoners for 3 summoners trade. Heal is down on the 80 carries, and then the flash and ignite on both of the supports. So perfect timing on those. Now the junglers will know that those summoners are down. Might be coming down for Vel'Koz later into the stages. You got to look for Lamb, see if they can get some vision control around there so they can set up for that gank. He is hanging around bot side right now. Also, Ocean Drake is up at the moment. This is something that, for the Ocean Drake, GSU is going to be benefiting off of this very well because they have laners that need sort of that sustain to keep themselves alive in this game. Where on the side of Embry, if they take that Ocean Drake away, it provides even more sustain for them to continue harassing down and whittling away at the defenses of GSU.
And I'm also starting to see a little bit here. Is Oreo starting to gain a little bit of a CS lead down bot? Has about 2 waves. Same in the mid lane, but bot lane we're going to maybe have some action. Forgotten Legend is going to land the combo perfectly. Solaire's going to go down. That's first blood going on over to Scarlet Desire in mid lane. Though Bush walks up to try and hit a card, and the ultimate comes out from Drink Bleach. And, well, that's the story there. It's a 1-for-1 trade across the map.
Yeah, and Bush had flash, so he could have done something about it and just sort of flashed away, maybe survived longer, but Bleach might not have that for his life.
He does have the clean. He got some. He's also got that stun. He's just going to walk away there. Didn't have too much mana, but doesn't have to blow any summoners, so I'd be happy with that. You got a kill. You got a CS lead in mid. You're doing quite fine for yourself.
Yeah, he played it smart, played it pretty calculated, as you could say, and was able to get away with everything still up and available for him. Oreo here just at about a 3rd health, going to go farm up a little bit more, make it 48 CS to 39. Still about that 10 CS differential, nothing too considerable in a sense of gold value, but you still have to keep an eye out and make sure that you can catch up on the side of Scarlet because they were 1,000 gold up for Embry. They were that 1k gold up, then the first blood happened, but they're still around 400 gold up due to that kill trade into the mid lane. So still having a slight advantage in just this early game for now, but still, Lamb, you saw there in the bot lane that he was going in for the counter gank, but Plasma was just a literal step in front of him and was able to secure that first blood.
And you can see up at topside, Problem Child gonna get a trade nicely there with that Mundo. Gonna keep up the pressure, but with that percent health, if he's able to land that full Q, get that stun onto that wall there, he does quite fine. Another thing I'd like to bring up here, now that we're at about the 7-minute mark, we also have a Water Drake on the table, and if Embly decides to go for it, I feel like that works really well for them, because then they can negate a little bit the poke that the Vel'Koz would be putting out, because this is likely to be a more support Vel'Koz style build from what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and by support, it's instead of rushing Morella Namacon, you rush like a Liandry's Torment, which gives you that spell penetration because Vel'Koz, like Brand, like Zyra, who are more of shifting to that support lane and that role, have really good base damage. They don't really need that AP to scale up at all, so they can just sort of get that spell pen, tear people apart, and really against Plasma and Tynus' Mundo and Sejuani respectively, I'm sorry, wrong team, flip that over. Lamb and Wolf's Warwick and Problem Child's Poppy, they'll be able to tear through them a little bit more efficiently than they should be.
See, just getting a decent size CS lead up here in top, and that's a little bit concerning here for this Mundo, because I feel like if Mundo isn't able to at least keep up in CS and not able to keep the gold even, he doesn't really get to that unkillable tank mode, because someone's always going to be ahead of him.
You could say that. It's more of it just delays it ever so slightly. It's when he gets to about level 10, level 11 is when he gets really, really tanky and hard to deal with. So now Problem Child is kind of stuck in a hard place, but Lamb's there.
Lamb is there. They're going to go on in. They get a kill in the mid lane. Problem Child is going to use that ultimate to disengage. It seems just misses, actually. Lamb and Wolf flashes over the wall, but they pick up 2 kills across the board. 1 in mid and 1 in that top side jungle. Looking to stick around maybe as Lamb and Wolf just clearing out wards right now.
And this was the problem that I was having with this mid lane, is that even though it's not Tynus that is in the mid lane now, Bush Sign, not really his comfortable spot, it seems, in this mid lane, especially on the Twisted Fate. Drink Bleach is just doing a phenomenal job on the Xerath, getting great zone control, is up about 30 CS now, and 2 kills. In looking at the gold charts, he's about 1,000 gold up at the moment, so it's really good for him because it will get him that Morellonomicon much faster. Will get him that just dominance in the mid lane as he has pretty much already solidified, and he can create and help pressure other parts of the map with his ultimate, and then just push out, get objective control with the help of Lamb, and possibly get that Ocean Drake in the next couple of minutes.
You can see just there, Solaire actually misses that hook, and it could cost him the ultimate coming on out. There's a heal blown to keep him alive, as well as that ignite from Forgotten Legend. That's the thing about this Vel'Koz support. You get that knock-up. You can commit to that full all-in. Past 6, you are almost guaranteed to get the kill, if not at least force some summoners.
Exactly, and they were able to force the flash out of Solaire and the heal out of Oreo. So I'm kind of surprised that Lamb hasn't been bringing a lot of attention down the bot lane, but you got to get commemoration to the bottom lane of Scarlet and Forgotten Legend, as they have just great vision control around the bottom side of this map. Even for, you could say, Bush Sign's Twisted Fate with the control ward in the river bush right up there, so you don't get that sort of awkward flank down into Try. So they have great control around there. They could possibly look for some assistance in mid lane, or even Plasma. Go to the bot lane, really shove out and give your bot lane that advantage so you can convert it into a lead and get your mid lane back into the game.
You can see a lot of pressure here. Lamb and Wolf actually missed the ultimate in mid lane, not landing it onto Bush, but it might not matter. I Drink Bleach does have that ultimate. It looks like going to be available quite shortly. Not going to be able to finish off the kill just in time as Bush walks away. But that lane is starting to become very, very lost at the moment. And if you're Georgia, what can you really do to try and shift this around? You really need Plasma to make some ganks here.
Yeah, and really it's for Plasma. As actually, here comes a gank that you're talking about.
Yeah, up and top side, Lamb and Wolf comes up, finds his prey on the Warwick, and they pick up a kill on this Mundo. And that's just going to put Problem Child even further ahead here in this matchup. So they're looking to at least get a decent amount of damage here.
Yeah, about 800 gold lead, not picking up the kill, but in comparison of junglers as well, almost about the same, 600, 700 gold lead for Lamb's Warwick. But as I was going to say, Plasma needs to start doing the same. He needs to start ganking places where he can find a lead, and really, that's mostly bot lane. His top lane is struggling, his mid lane is struggling, and sort of like that mindset of junglers is that you like to go for the lanes that are already in an advantageous state, so it's a lot easier to bring that and convert that into a lead. So for him, you need to bring your focus down to the bot lane. You still have good vision control down there. Get a gank, possibly even a dive while the heal is down for Oreo, and then convert that into an Ocean Drake and sort of ease out the pain that's been happening for this mid lane.
Oh. This is the other issue too. We mentioned this Twisted Fate is if he isn't able to go into other lanes, he can't even win his own lane right now. He isn't able to use that ultimate, and that's a big part of the Twisted Fate pick, is getting your other lanes ahead. If he was able to maybe roam down to bot lane and get them further, that might be a good opportunity for Georgia, but he's stuck in this mid lane.
Yeah, and some part of it is literally just forfeiting your lane. Go listen to your jungler. If your jungler wants to do something and act, just go with him. You have Destiny. You have a large range of sort of presence on the map. With the clarity, or the cleanse as it is, on his summoner spell, it's something that it's nice in the laning phase, but bringing it into a teleport where you can just sort of shove the lane out, go with Destiny, and immediately come back with teleport is a little bit more versatile. So his summoner spell pick isn't really doing that well for him, but we just saw Red Team destroying the first turret of the game. It was actually in that mid lane that's been ever so dominant. And here you can see on the minimap that they're actually setting their sights onto the bottom lane.
Yeah, we have this roam coming out from I Drink Bleach. They look to catch out this Vel'Koz. That one's very far dead right now. He's able to get out. He's got the knockup. He has the ultimate, but it doesn't go through. Oreo picks up the kill before he has the ability. Teleport coming down, and Oreo disengages with the ultimate as Mundo has made his way back down there, but there is a push coming on in from this red side. Problem Child just really wants to get this turret.
Yep, and a great zoning there from Problem Child as well as Lamb when they were pressuring in there, going over the turret, and then disengaging the entirety of GSU, moving it onwards. Now we are at about a 4,000 gold lead here, about 19,000 to 23,000, and immediately, first turret goes down, collapse, all 5 members go down to bot lane, take that, and then they set their sights onto the Ocean Drake. They're going to pick that one up, create this gap even further in both gold value and stats value. So a wonderful job here from Embry, creating that solo lane advantage in the mid lane into an imminent victory into the bot.
And look at this bush. He has nowhere to go right now. Luckily, his support has roamed on over to provide some pressure. They did pick up the Water Drake, so they're going to be able to sustain a little bit more when it comes to those fights and the longer sieges later on into the game. Not too sure what dragon is coming up next, but it could be a possibility of starting to stack those.
It's going to be another Ocean Drake, as a matter of fact, OPL. So that's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of sustain for the side of Embry if they're able to pick that one up in the next 6 minutes or so. But even then, once you get to 2 Ocean Drakes, the third doesn't become as much value. Good flash there by Bleach, though.
That was a beautiful flash. Didn't even use the cleanse. Knows he has to hold on to it for a little bit longer because this gold card is going to come on in. The ignite is ticking, but he should be able to walk away. Still had about 300 health there, and that's a great flash there from Bleach.
Yeah, great flash there from Bleach. Bush Sign had flash as well on the Twisted Fate, but he did know that Bleach's cleanse was still up, so there was already a perfect answer for that. Wonderful job there by Bleach's Xerath as he continues to show his utter dominance and skill on this champion.
So Coco, we got a little bit of some time here. I'm not too familiar with your main role when it comes to League. What is it? My
main role? Oh, yeah. I'm a filler feed kind of guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you dwell in all the lanes then. So looking here right now, what is the best opportunity for Georgia? Because now that bot lane that had a chance of still having a lead have now lost their turret. There's really not a whole lot going well here for Georgia now.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a hard question to answer because now all lanes are losing in their own rights. And really, even though being a filler feed main kind of guy, you got to know what is good for the team. And for this one now, it's really just trying to stop the bleeding, surrendering things. You see there, Tynus not surrendering that turret. He does fall and causes more like problems for his team, but this could be even worse.
Solaire on the side right now gets the hook onto the Sejuani. Lamb and Wolf went into the backside and got that fear off. Now Orianna has joined the fight, able to get those auto attacks and that charge onto Plasma. Still no one going down just yet. Solaire looking for a hook. He finds it. Not going to go on in though. Huge damage from I Drink Bleach. Picks up 1 kill with the ultimate. Looking for a second. Gets it. That's a double kill coming up from the Xerath with the ultimate.
And a splendid job. It's not over yet.
Going on very big right now. Scarlet Desire uses the Featherstorm. He gets hooked underneath tower. Lamb and Wolf picks up the kill. He's on a rampage. And you know what right now? If you're Embry, you're looking at this second turret, and it is just off the chain right now.
All right, GSU, I said stop the bleeding. That's not how you do it. They just, with Embry, they had a perfect capability to just take that scab that they made and then just rip it open into a huge new wound here for GSU. And it all started off because they tried to react to the sort of, I wouldn't say greediness, but sort of stubbornness of Tynus's Mundo, where he was underneath a turret that was only at 3rd health. His team told him that there were members of Embry coming up. They are ready to fight. He's already at a 3rd health too, so he's going to fall. Didn't have his ultimate either. So with that, it gives them a lead, and the rest of his team sort of just resorted to trying to back him up or try and find something. And with the already 5,000 gold lead that was during that fight in the hands of Embry, they just took it and expanded it into now, I believe it is a 7,000 gold lead here, almost 8,000 for the side of Embry Riddle. So now it is Embry's game to lose. And for the side of GSU here, there are places to come back, but it's those kind of strategies that it's a Fnatic push. That's what you need to do. You need to cheese them. And that was
could do it. Gets the shutdown with the auto attack, but here comes Lamb and Wolf on in, picks up the kill onto the Vel'Koz. Tristana going off right now, able to get the resets on her jump. Here comes Problem Child from behind in the middle of the jungle. Oreo will pick up the kill, and Embry just punishing them deeply for even trying to get one pick on their mid laner.
Yeah, and finding one pick, they did take one directly back, actually two directly back, with Twisted Fate going down, and unfortunately Tynus cannot get that top lane turret. He does not have the damage as Dr. Mundo, but the Rift Herald does here. Picks up the second tier turret for Embry Riddle as they continue to ram their way down the mid lane of GSU, but they decide to back off. Go ahead, take a breather, not get too greedy, go back and also clear the jungle other side of GSU, not to let them have anything whatsoever on their side of the map.
Honestly, just starving Plasma right now of any kind of gold income and giving a red buff over to that Tristana so early now. Level 10 has a bit of range, and if they're able to just get some auto attacks on some low members, because they don't really have any escapes left for them, they're able to catch out Forgotten if he's trying to get a ward down deep, try and clear some vision. If Tynus up on that Mundo is trying to go anywhere, they can easily punish it if any member is around.
Any member whatsoever. And looking at the kills here, you have 5 and a 0 Warwick, which with a Trinity Force, he's just going to be able to dive to the backline, doing a massive amount of damage and get out with pretty much no health lost whatsoever for him. So that as well, Drink Leech doing a good job on the Xerath, even though he did just previously die. Massive damage onto his side nonetheless. And for Embry Riddle, going to be keeping their eyes on the Baron right now. Get some vision control, clear it out, pick off a member or two, because even if one member is lost from the side of GSU, they cannot contest this Baron whatsoever.
And it's a Tristana that's gotten a lot of kills. Oh my lord, the damage from this Xerath is insane. Instantly deleting the Vel'Koz of Forgotten Legend. Has that ultimate too. Gets the siege down with the artillery. Looking to maybe turn around. Lamb and Wolf goes on in. The Glacial Prison does land, and they get the shutdown onto the Warwick. But now Drake Leech has come around the corner. That AoE, that ability to just rip through the team, taking down on the bomb. That's going to be a kill going on over to Oreo, and they cannot hold this. Ice Shoot Plasma has to find a way to survive. Hook coming on through. It's going to land on a minion. Bleach looking for the snipe. Not going to find it.
Not going to find it, and they're still hunting for blood here. Bush Sign is in a little bit of trouble. Will he be able to make it through? Oh no, there's the hook.
There's the hook, and there's the stun. The cleanse was also used. Looking to run for his life. The ultimate going to be the one that finishes. The Feather Storm ripping on through. Forgotten turns that around at least. They pick up a kill onto this very fed Xerath.
Well, if you're trying to bite off more than you can chew, that was pretty much what happened for Drink Bleach. They got a little bit too greedy, and then Forgotten Legend with the Vel'Koz just decided to slap him on the wrist and was like, hey, you got to share for everyone, so go ahead and go think about that. But Fnatic Rush, here we go.
That's the issue now. You can't get any vision down into your jungle. It's being denied everywhere. Oreo gonna jump on in. There's no, I guess, Lantern to help him out, but they're still so scared they don't even want to try and catch out this Tristana in the middle of the red pit.
No, not way or how in the sense of what they can do against this dominant team of Embry Riddle, as it's 15 kills to 4. They have about still an 8,000, 9,000 gold lead almost with that second Ocean Drake. Now I think it should be a good amount of time to either find more of those picks in the jungle, get that vision out, either bait a Baron or just take the Baron yourself, really, for Embry Riddle. It's all they need to do. The shell of GSU is still going to be hard to crack because they have the wave clear of Forgotten's Vel'Koz. They have the wave clear of a little bit of Scarlet and Bush Sign's Twisted Fate and Xayah, respectively. But even then, they're not in any suit whatsoever to even walk past their jungle. If they go into the river and there is any members, even 2 members of Embry Riddle on their side, they are completely done. They are pretty much forfeit their life to just get some vision out into this map because they are playing pretty much blind.
And you know what? You're starting to see now the big differences in the builds. When you're up about 8,000 gold, this Tristana practically has an additional BF sword worth of damage when it comes to that gold difference over her lane. So they're looking for a hook right now. Forgotten might try and go for a catch, but they decide against it. It's really this dance around Baron, but you know what? Who's in the lead of this dance? It's Embry.
Yep, still having good vision control at the moment. Gotta give a hand to GSU, though. They were able to get some vision out, make sure that there's not going to be any suspicious activity in the Baron pit just yet. You can see on the minimap they are pinging it. They are making sure that they have an eye always set somewhere around it. Interesting ultimate there from Forgotten to flash.
So Lair uses the flash to try and get in hook range, but gets instantly answered by the Vel'Koz of Forgotten. And now Oreo is in pretty safe right now. Plasma has to be a little bit careful. I can hear the Warwick is also popping that. He's looking to flank them from behind. He's going to go right onto that Vel'Koz. They also land a beautiful stun onto Scarlet. Oreo picks up the kill. Now he's jumping straight on into the action. Lamb and Wolf gets the heal from his ADC. Oreo has the reset on the jump. That's a double kill for this ADC and immediately turn onto the Baron.
An amazing flank there from Embry Riddle. You saw as Plasma was getting a little bit too aggressive. The flash being thrown away from Forgotten's Vel'Koz as well. Perfect read there from Embry. You see that Lamb and Wolf on that mini-map. They were able to create a great flank. Just completely got to that backline, was able to tread them through, and now that perfect sort of reactive play gets them that Baron. And even though they're in the lead, they still played that perfectly in the sense of reaction and defensive passive defense. We're able to find that kill, create that lead, and now we're at about still 9,000 gold lead. Nothing too massive just yet in the sense of extreme leads. This is still something that is considerable. I've seen 10,000 gold leads being thrown out of the window, but even then, it's something that, well, actually, there's the surrender. Okay.
Oh, Georgia, they decide we don't want to even try to come back from this one, so Embry are going to pick up the win here in the first game of the best of two. Not too often that you see a surrender vote, but you must be, I guess, not too confident when you're losing this far behind.
No, I'm not too confident at all. And even though, as I did just mention, I have seen 10,000 gold lead throws, it's that sense of a mindset as well that sort of is implemented into those victories. Because for this one, GSU, they didn't have the mindset to sort of build this one out, wait it out, push it out, and possibly make it a comeback. They're like, all right, we've learned our lesson. Let's go ahead and get into the next game pretty much for them.
No, they must have heard you, Coco. They must have been like, you know what, Coco has said it could happen, but it's not likely to happen. But yeah, in the end, Embry is going to pick up the first win here. When we come back, guys, it's going to be game 2 between GSU and Embry Riddle. Please do stick around. We'll be right back after this break. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 of our Best of 2 featured matchup here on AVGL tonight. I'm Alexander Opiel-Shambo. Joining me for color is Coco the Dragon. And Coco, wow, we just saw a slaughter there, and we don't know what to really expect. Do you expect some picks and bans to be swapped up here?
It is a possibility. There could be maybe a Xerath ban could be coming out, something like that. It kind of did a lot of work in that last game, so some things could happen, but outside of the Xerath pick, nothing really was extremely influential or really considering. Maybe the Warwick too, but that outside of that, it was mostly just the play style of Layman Wolf doing more work than the actual champion, in my opinion.
No, that's fair enough. So now I guess on this next pick and ban, if you're looking at Bush, do you want to maybe put him onto a more safer champion than Twisted Fate? There's not a whole many others, but like an Orianna, something that could provide a little bit more AoE CC, because if he's going to get outmatched in that matchup and they don't get a counter pick here, because they actually don't, they only have the second last pick of the draft. And right now we're starting to get into champion select right away, get some bans and picks here. Like, what do you want to do for Bush right now?
Well, for Bush, if we're specifically looking at that mid lane, I do agree, get some utility. It's mostly more of something that can counter push and keep the wave keep the lane either like dead even in the sense of wave collision, or look for something that can duel very effectively early on. So if it's something that you want to still run something similar to Twisted Fate, Talia is a good answer, has good wave clear, is having to be able to roam as well, also has good objective control with her wall. So I feel like if you want to go for that, you can, but really just something that is safe to help just sort of deny Bleach's sort of ramping potential.
Well, we're in the champ select now. We get to see some of the picks and bans coming on through. GSU, they say, we don't want to see that Xerath at all. Don't even want to let Layman Wolf, his namesake Kindred, on the champion. And they don't want a Cho'Gath getting picked on early either. Meanwhile, for Embry, they decide, don't want to see a Lulu, don't want to see a Scion, or don't want to see that Janna either. And those are actually, I think, identical to their last bans. And we have some swap-ups already. Have a Gangplank, and we also have a Kayn.
Yeah, Gangplank was actually banned last game on the side of GSU, so not being gone in this game, they decide for Embry to go ahead and pick it up for themselves and get that advantage. So might be a nice little comfort pick for their top laner. And with that also, with these picks, as a matter of fact, Kayn being picked up as well for Lamb, and I mentioned in a previous series, he went 17-7 on that. So expect some aggression on the side of GSU in that jungle once again. And then for the side of GSU, and Forgotten Legend still picking up a Vel'Koz for the hover. Xayah as well being picked up in an Elise jungle. So trying to fight fire with fire in a sense of early aggression in this side of the jungle.
See, GSU, they decided at least to keep two of their picks the same, pretty similar to last game. Meanwhile, though, Embry picking completely different champs right out the gate.
Yeah, and I think it's because like you see the Alistair pick up, and it's really just an answer if they like the playmaking ability for Solaire, but Thresh just wasn't the answer for the Vel'Koz. So deciding to see if they can experiment a little bit, get that Alistair out, decide to ban Mundo away too, decide I guess they don't want to deal with that one either, and then also a Tristana ban. So that was also taken away and out of the hands of Oreo.
So Oreo going to have to pick up something different here. His Tristana we've been very familiar with, so we'll have to see what new pick he'll want to pick up. And you mentioned that Alistar too. I really like that, especially into a Vel'Koz, because having two stuns available in your kit against Vel'Koz, really, if he gets caught out by a headbutt pulverize combo, he's almost guaranteed dead.
Pretty much, yeah, because we saw with that last game again with Thresh, he had the hook, he wouldn't be in range for a Flay, or the Flay was just not enough stable crowd control for him to just pull off his kit, because there's like a little bit of a half frame sense where he can throw out his kit and then possibly come back for something and provide some crowd control back for his AD carry and for himself. But with that one, Syndra being banned away as well for the side of Embry Riddle, so they don't want to deal with that one either. Could kind of give away or throw a hint at what Bleach is going to be wanting to play, make sure that there's not that assassination potential at level 6, but a Leona actually being picked up, so that means Vel'Koz is going to be going into the mid lane.
Is a possibility. Still not too sure yet. This is a team with some wacky picks, so Maybe we're seeing something out of the ordinary for Oreo, though, hovering that Caitlyn, a pretty similar champion to that Tristana. Not as much reset potential or the ability to dive on into the middle of a fight, but still has that ability. Ziggs, though, going to be changed to at the very last second. I'm not sure if this is a pickup for mid lane or if this is an actual ADC Ziggs. I think we have one.
I think it is an ADC Ziggs, as a matter of fact, and haven't seen one of those in a long time. I think at the very beginning, like January of this year, was actually the last time I really saw a Ziggs mid or Ziggs bot. Excuse me. I've seen a mid, but nonetheless, going to be going into that, and that just sort of provides the pressure of constant lane pushing. And against Zaya and Vel'Koz, that might be the answer they need to deal with Forgotten Legend and also Scarlet, because sort of fighting in that last game, they were doing okay, but we noticed continually that that was the only winning lane for the side of GSU, was the bot lane of Scarlet and Forgotten. So with this Diggs pickup, will it be enough to counteract that potential of the bot lane?
And we're already seeing some role swaps here, too, on the side of GSU. They've moved Tynus actually to the support role, most likely. I can't really see his summoner right now. It looks like the edge of an exhaust, and they decided to put I Shoot Plasma up into the top lane and then put Bush into the jungle. The only one here on the same role, actually, seems to be Scarlet.
Yeah, Scarlet's going to go ahead and be that ADC main for the rest of us. Everyone else, I guess, decides to want to be a fill main like me, so yeah, nice, you know? The more fills, the better. It makes solo queue a lot easier in a sense of just timing and making everything sort of work all together, because everyone kind of knows what's expected of everyone. But nonetheless, yeah, Forgotten Legend going to be going into the mid lane with his Vel'Koz. He did good in that support role last game. Can he do it against Gangplank's the Gangplank that Bleach has picked up? Possibly, maybe. Could work. I don't know.
I find with Bleach right now, he's picking champions that if they're able to get a lead, they can absolutely dominate the matchup, even slightly. And Gangplank in particular, once he's able to get one or two items, if he's able to get any kind of lethality right away, if he gets an early kill, gets an early gank from Lamp and Wolf, it's going to be really tough to come back into this matchup, because really it's going to be up to Forgotten to have to play safe. You have to farm with that W and pick off minions with a Q, because if he goes into melee range and gets within barrel range of this Gangplank, he could really suffer from it.
Definitely. And the lane and the wave clear in both laning phases for Vel'Koz and Gangplank are pretty even throughout. It does take a little bit more mana, I'd say, on the side of Vel'Koz for him to clear the waves, and then for Gangplank, it's really just waiting to get like a Phage or a Sheen to just get like a full six creep wipe and just keep pushing it in. So both of them have the potential to help roam around. I believe that is a teleport as well on Forgotten Legends Vel'Koz, so he'll be able to keep up and sort of help roam around, where on the side of Bleach, he decided to go for heal instead. And an interesting point as well is that even though Gangplank can get rid of CC, a knockup is a little bit different, because it's like a stun that can't be fully hard countered with a cleanse. So it makes it to where you still get knocked up for that second, but when you cleanse it, you can like flash out of the knockup or something like that. But it's still a mini knockup, nothing too considerable. More of probably just for that Leona that Tynus has picked up is what it's going to be good for.
And now going back into this bot lane, you have this Ziggs. Haven't seen him in a while, but one of the great things about having this pick here, it kind of does a similar thing to Tristana in the aspect of sieging. If he's able to get up to a tower, they can absolutely rip apart objectives with him.
Yeah, and I believe it is a 20 or 25% on just the first point of satchel charge to execute a turret. So still just as good as sieging as Tristana would be, if not even better for this bottom lane. So making sure if they can get that lead, get going, get some help from Lamb to apply some more attack damage pressure. Because in this matchup, in this composition, I feel like Kane is going to be going that Assassin Kane for Lamb and Wolf, just because he has a good amount of targets to just shred through. He has the Vel'Koz he can take care of, he has the Zaya he can take care of, and he has the Elise as well that he can also, to boot, like kick out of the game pretty much and cause a lot of havoc in the back line. So it is something that we'll have to consider going into this game, because it could be just a major four-man threat from the side of Embry Riddle.
Now, you mentioned it being a four-man threat if he does go that Shadow Assassin, but if he does go into that Darkened form where he is more of a drain tank, really, it doesn't look too good here for Embry if any of these lanes get ahead. And we saw in game one that they do have the potential to get themselves there by themselves without a lot of help from Lamb. So I'm going to be interested to see on exactly what they decide to pick, because if I don't go with any kind of tank here and they wait for a much later game, they lose any kind of fight. This Nasus could get up and running, but it's going to be really dependent on how well Problem Child can really try and force that lane and really force that Nasus to miss some CS.
Yeah, because Nasus, if he does get rolling, as you said, he can shut down pretty much 2 carries at once if he is able to get the capability to close the gap and provide so much pressure for his opponent, like for his team and for the opponents, because it kind of is like Mundo in the same sense where he doesn't have immediate gap close. He has a tool to get closer to you, and it's very reliable. Wither's a thing, and AD carries do not like Wither whatsoever. So possibly a quick Silver Sash might be rushed on the side of maybe Lamb or Bleach, possibly. Oreo might legit pick it up as well, just to not deal with it, but he has the Satchel Charge for some disengagement anyways, as well as the proximity minefield to create some more slowing against Plasma. But even then, it's always a red flag with the Wither on the Nasus, and as you said, if they don't shut him down, it's going to be a lot of trouble.
Well, I can relate to that. I'm a Kalista player, so that really hurts me when I get withered, but I know it's not going to be hurting. As we're into the game finally here between Embry on the blue side and GSU on the red side. To go over your rosters really quick again, it's Problem Child up in that top lane on the Rumble. Lamb and Wolf on the Kane this time around. I Drink Bleach on the Gangplank in mid. Oreo129 playing that ADC Ziggs. And it's going to be Solaire in the bot lane to round it out with the Alistar.
And you got to leave me with the team that's not in LCS order. Why do you do this to me, OPL?
I'm sorry, Coco. I'm a cheeky caster that likes to take the easy way out, possibly, or I just do blue side often. So
yeah, very true. But anyways, on the side of GSU, Paradox is going to be Aishu Plasma in the top lane. You have Bush Sign in the jungle this time. Forgotten Legend is going to be in the mid lane as well, but still on that Vel'Koz. And then Scarlet Desire and Tynus V2 are going to be in that bot lane with the Xayah Leona. And also something to point out, Rakan wasn't banned, I believe. So they could have picked up Rakan. And that's something that it could have been a really good sign for GSU, get that good complementation, because unlike Leona, Rakan's not like a one-dimensional champion. When you pick Leona, everyone knows that you're going to be going ham, you're going to get that level 2, you're going to be rushing for first blood, you're going to be just aggressing, and you are the initiator, where Rakan, he's an initiator, but he can also peel for his team. So I feel like if they did pick up the Rakan, you can still be tanky with him, and you can still bring a lot of utility, and it could provide a lot of freedom for the side of GSU. So we'll have to see if this Leona pick was a good decision for them.
Yeah, it's a heavy all-in kind of champion, and you know, I was thinking about maybe they just like having that additional extra hard CC in the kit of Leona, because again, Rakan, like you said, can do both. He has the knock-up, he also has the charm, and I feel like his charm is almost easier to kind of land than a Leona, because he has tools in his kit to help him set it up.
Very true, and even with the nerf that happened to where they reduced the range of his sort of collision on the charm from 200 to 150, you can still pinpoint accuracy do things with Rakan, and Plasma actually up here in the top lane not having a fun time against the split pushing potential of Rumble. You never like to deal with the Flame Spitter whatsoever, but then also in this mid lane, if you can look on the minimap, a little bit of a better time here for the side of Forgotten Legend.
Yeah, already. That is kind of going to be the main, I think, feeling for this lane until, like you said, in Champion Select, that he can get that sheen to where he can wave clear, because even though he's getting pushed in underneath tower, that's a big wave about to hit it, and he's still pretty close in CS. You see Solo there wants to go a little bit aggressive, but I almost don't feel like you want to go aggressive into a Leona. You really want to be targeting Scarlet early.
You know, and for those people that do understand the reference of Solaire and also the history of Leona, it's kind of interesting because instead of praising the sun, you're beating it up. So it's a little bit of a change of heart there for that guy, but nonetheless, it's hey, you got to do what you got to do to win.
Hey, you know what? The Church of the Moo Cow, the bells actually. He's even wearing the correct skin. Yep. You can maybe whip out the bells and start playing us a tune. Maybe he found something, but lovely counter gank here from Lamb and Wolf. That's a beautiful position to be in. It kicks up first blood too.
Amazing job. As you said, beautiful counter gank. Wonderful. They had the bait perfectly set out. They had the vision. Gets a land, but actually here in the bot lane could be some skirmishing back and forth.
Maybe going to try and force out a flash. Going to get them down to about half health, but yeah, continue there. That's a beautiful position, a beautiful bait, actually. I loved that play. I was so happy.
It was a great bait. I'm so, like, I'm going to go back. I'm going to look. I'm going to watch that one again because it was wonderful. You already saw, like, the pings. You could hear it in your mind that they're like, oh, let's bait this. Let's bait this right now. And then they baited it, and you're like, oh, bait.
It's just so satisfying when a plan comes together.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And it's such a simple plan. It's just put that Rumble in a position. You have the vision. That's what vision can allow you to do. They don't know where Kane is, and he has that ability to take a gangplank path like that. But you can see him bot lane. Desire is going to get taken down by the Q of Oreo. Placed it behind the ADC. He actually flashed on into it.
Oh man, he predicted that flash. He was able to get it in there, and then also the heal was also negated too by the ignite of Solaire, so was able to burn him down, reduce that healing, and gets that kill for Oreo. So another wonderful job. It looks like this Ziggs and Alistar were the answer, but now Forgotten Legend looks like he's in trouble.
Lamb and Wolf lands that ability. He's gonna force the flash out. He doesn't have. If he went that dark, and he would have had the additional knock up there on that one, but he's still pretty early into the game. But if he's able to land them just on the tip there, forcing those flashes, he should be coming back mid very soon.
Yeah, very soon, but he has teleport down, so he cannot really go back. He's just gonna have to chug on those potions to stay alive. He's already actually back to full health, so he's doing kind of okay there in that mid lane. Lamb and Wolf helping out with some wave clear so he can shove off and go back to jungling. Also, Mountain Drake is going to be the first one up as well. Possibly might be looking for that one, but still, it's more around that 12-13 minute mark. It's kind of like that peak over from we're in early game and now we're in mid game. That's when the first dragon is usually taken. It sort of dictates that flow because you get that first turret, create some sort of presence in the enemy jungle so you can get to the dragon a little bit easier and then take it and move on into other lanes. More harassment coming around all sides of the map, and as you said, every single lane on the side of Embry Riddle can grant themselves a lead.
And we're now looking at it here, this top lane, this Nasus pick. This is what happens if he goes into a tough matchup like this Rumble where he isn't able to farm Solaire. He must have heard us. He's getting that bell out, getting the taunt ready for that bot side. But going back to this Rumble, he's got a Haunting guys now. This is going to be a very tough lane for this Nasus because he even went not even health items or anything. He actually had to go for that Doran's ring so he can wave clear.
Yeah, just a wave clear a little bit. Now, I hope to see him going for a Spectre's Cowl at least, just for that sustain against the Haunting guys, get some defense on himself, and also with the passive of the guys, not the guys, excuse me, as the Cowl gives you that health regen and some more lane sustain for him and be able to get a little bit farmed up because it's 43 CS to 29, and the stacks on Nasus is not much, but, well, the ultimate is still a heavy hitter.
Yeah, this is the issue here. Problem Child, he uses that equalizer. There's the gangplank ult. That's one thing we haven't mentioned yet, is he has that ability to globally turn around fights at will. Oreo sidestepping the E from the Leona. He's not going to be able to sidestep that Cocoon, but a big knockout comes out from Solaire, and now the turnaround, Oreo picks up another kill himself. Bush having a lot of trouble here in the jungle.
Yeah, and another good counter gank there from Lamb and Wolf with Kane getting just the perfect time to come back and turn around that fight. And you saw Bush Sign and Scarlet, as well as Tinus too. They just went a little bit too far for Oreo. And Oreo was able to disengage and grant himself enough space to start throwing some snowballs back at the opponent. You see that turret health in the bot lane is around 35% now. Literally, there's the satchel charge. Immediately dead. And first turret.
And that's extra gold, and that's the thing about Ziggs is with this kind of bot lane play style, is it feeds a lot of gold into you. And if you're able to pick up a kill or even that first turret, it really can snowball him out of control. Solaire coming on over to defend his jungler. Bush lands the Cocoon. There's also the ultimate for Forgotten Lord. He's able to pick up the kill from Vel'Koz. Forgotten Legend, pardon me, picking that one up.
Another slap on the wrist there for Lamb and Wolf. You saw that last game, but it was on the side of Bleach, where Bleach was just massive on the Xerath, and then just kind of got a little bit too greedy for a kill. Drink Bleach actually still taking a lot of damage, but Bush Sign's here to help out. Oh, right after the orange. That's a kill.
That's unfortunate. That's kind of the worst feeling with Gangplank, is when you use that orange and you see someone literally at the edge of your screen and you're like, really? Really?
Yep.
Even used the heal too. Like, he used a lot there to try and escape, and he still got taken down.
Yeah, it's still a great turn of events there for the side of GSU. It's 3 kills to 2, and when we saw that fight in the bottom lane when they took the turret, they were at about a 4,000 gold lead for the side of Embry Riddle, and now with those turnarounds that Forgotten has sort of been granting his team with the kill on that one, and then also the kill onto Lamb's Kane in on that blue buff on their side, sort of squished it back down to about a 2,000 gold lead. So it's a nice recovery, not a full recovery, but it's still something that will help him out in the end game.
Waiting here right now. You can see this bot lane has moved on over to the mid. They want to try and push this advantage somewhere else on the map. They put I Drink Bleach down in that bot side to farm up slowly now. The rest of the team has wandered on over, so we might be seeing an answer from GSU if they decide to want to match the lanes right now. But if Ori and them can go around rapidly going through these lanes, and Forgotten is actually staying here, they're going to lose a little bit of CS down in bot if he keeps pushing.
Yeah, and they're also losing XP share. It slows their experience leveling just a little bit more when there's so many people in one lane. And also on that top side, Nasus on the side of Plasma not doing too well for himself, just hitting 100 stacks onto his Q. So not doing too good for himself either. 65 CS to 64. He's caught up, so it's still decent, but decided to go for the Kindle Gem instead. Still going to be going most likely for the Spear Visage. And then going back to the bottom lane, a lot of members here in this mid lane for Embry Riddle. This could be a possible dive. Keep your eyes looking for it.
Here's the possibility. There's the ultimate from the Gangplank. The equalizer comes out from the Rumble. Forgotten Lord is still pretty healthy. They want to try and turn this one around. Lamb and Wolf will get taken down to the end tower shot. Solaire has to use that ultimate. He's going to sidestep the ultimate from the Leona. But it looks like they're able to at least disengage and only lose one member there, getting a little too trigger happy diving that tower.
Yeah, a little bit too much, and with that as well, we also saw the ultimate coming out from Oreo and forced the flash out of push sign, I believe, to keep himself alive. And now with the Morella Nomicon, he's going to be doing a lot of hurt. Also has a lot of sustain with that massive mana that he grants from it. I believe it's 400 mana that he gets and the 100 ability power. So constant pushing and pressure from this bottom lane duo of Embry Riddle. And with this now, it sort of leaves GSU in this awkward situation where they always have to find suitable answers to the certain actions that Embry Riddle are taking. So, for example, Tynus and Scarlet going to the bot lane, seeing if they can force Bleach to hug onto his turret and just make sure they can farm up for their AD carry, because right now he is 20 CS behind to his counterpart.
You can see there Scarlet and them clearing out that bot side. Problem Child keeps the harass up here in top. Plasma using that ultimate, that was a little bit of a change to Nasus quite recently, was his ultimate now enables the cooldown right now for his Siphoning Strike to be cut in half while he's in ult form. So if you're wondering why he was doing that, that's the reason.
Yeah, it's also really annoying when you're going up against him, because it's like in those late game fights, this is what we're mentioning with the fact that he can Siphoning Strike literally every second is so annoying for AD carries and squishy targets, because it's just constant, just getting whacked away, and then eventually just you fall and die, and it's just so much pain, especially with the Sheen too when he picks it up. Even without it, it's still just so much damage. But into this 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes of the game, Dragon is still on the board. Could be looking for it, but the vision control from GSU, they have their sights set, and for now they decided to have Bleach still stay in this bottom lane, help catch up in CS and farm for that one. Doesn't want to deal with Forgotten Legends Vel'Koz. For that, well, it's going to be a little bit of a slower sort of mid game for right now.
You know, you mentioned that Dragon, Coco, and I always wondered, hey, what if, like, during Earth Day, they changed Mountain Drake into a Coco Dragon? Like, how happy would you be if they...
You know,
like...
that could be a Winter Wonderland thing. They could have the Coco Dragon. Hot Coco Dragon, there you go.
Hot Coco Dragon, I'm loving it.
Yeah,
but right now, if you are GSU, you are enjoying that this game is going a little bit slower than last. It lets your Nasus farm up. It lets Scarlet Desire get to a point where he's able to shred through teams with this Xayah. And you can't be too unhappy right now with how the way it's going. You're down about 3,000 gold, but that's much better than how they were last game, where it was around 6,000 gold at this point.
And the problem usually with the sort of this mid game where it hits around 15 minutes and goes to about 20-25 is that it's really hard to just find certain advantages. And this mid game is a little bit delayed because the turrets are still pretty much alive and well. Only one turret has fallen in that bottom lane. And this mid game has been delayed due to the fact that Forgotten Legend can answer to the push of Oreo and Solaire, as well as Scarlet can answer to the push, and Plasma has gotten to the point where he can also reply to Problem Child pretty effectively as well. He's probably the one that's struggling the most, so feel that Embry is going to be setting their sights either at Dragon. As a matter of fact, there's pings coming out right now for that Dragon onto the Mountain Drake there in the bottom lane, looking to see if they can take that one, but then also see if they can convert that to the top lane, because that's really the one weak point, again, for the side of GSU, because if you remember from last game, the reason why Embry got such a huge lead was because that Tynus was on that Mundo. He stayed in the top lane a little bit too long. His team had to come and help him out, and they just kept filtering in one by one and getting utterly destroyed by the just damage output and being locked into the jaws of Embry Riddle. So if they can avoid that point, they might have the potential to come back.
Oh, you see Plasma up in topside, though, wants to go aggressive. With that reduced cooldown, he has the ability to do this. The ultimate is used by Problem Child, but guess what? There's an Elise standing right there. They want to try and turn this around with the game playing ultimate. Plasma is forced to flash, but here comes the answer. Lamb and Wolf uses that ability, not going to be able to find it. ISU Plasma gets knocked on back toward the tower. It looks like he's just going to go for the execute. I think Rumble, actually, no, that's Solaire that gets it because of the headbutt.
Yep, gets that one for the headbutt, and fortunately only get Plasma out of that. Bush Sign was able to get away pretty safely. Lamb and Wolf didn't have enough tools to collapse down. He doesn't have boots, actually, so that's really the reason why he was able to get down there so quickly, is that boots of mobility on the side of Bush Sign was able to help him escape just a little bit, and no boots again on Lamb and Wolf. Uh-oh, a little bit of an unfortunate side here. Lamb and Wolf taking a lot of damage under turret.
Yeah, he uses that Blade's Reach, but isn't going to be able to do much there as Bush just goes up in the air with the repel. Meanwhile, in mid lane, this is someone we haven't been able to talk a whole lot about, is Forgotten Legend. He's been doing really well on this Vel'Koz. Leona goes on in trying to land the stun. Looks like Problem Child has come to answer, doesn't have that ultimate available. Tidus gets taken down by Oreo Ziggs, now 3-0-0. Looks like GSU, they get close with these opportunities, but they're just missing out right now. Problem Child in the jungle right now against Bush. You can see that burn that comes out. The Ziggs ultimate pop forces Bush to flash away. And looks like Embry starting to get a little bit more gold back into their pockets, funnel a little bit more onto the Ziggs.
And actually, surprisingly, it's still about a 2,000 gold lead for him, so not much is really shifting in a sense of gold value. Plasma getting this turret actually is going to change that, make it, okay, still about 2,000, but oh my goodness. This is what you were talking about. This is what you're talking about, OPL. He can literally just obliterate people when he gets to a certain point. He picked up that Sheen. Now he's got the hurt.
Yeah, doesn't have that ultimate available anymore. Bush is coming around the corner to add some damage. Plasma's going to get ulted by the Kayn. Lamb and Wolf trying to keep on going, uses that Blade's Reach. Not going to find it, and actually Solaire gets taken down. Lamb goes back on in. He wants to try and answer for a kill. He will find one. Ooh. 1Q, though, from ISU Plasma. You know what? He says, I cane you to death, as he picks up another kill for himself. This NAS is starting to scale hard.
Yeah, the original Kayn meme coming in and picking up 2 kills for himself in that top lane. And to be honest, a wonderful job there by the side of Plasma, but for the past 2 minutes, Bush Sign has been finding perfect repels for so long, because you saw him in that tower dive at the very top. He got a perfect repel right before the ultimate, but actually, Oreo.
Ooh,
not getting
Oreo,
close.
That equalizer almost there. You see the ultimate from the Gangplank forces Forgotten to flash. Honestly, so close with these opportunities here from Embry.
Yeah, lucky
not able to pick him up.
Lucky with the flash on Forgotten Legend, he was able to get away safely. But again, I'm just gonna quick rise once again. Bush Sign for the past 2 minutes, he got perfect repels to where he was getting away just by the just by the skin of his teeth, and then was able to turn around fights and get away with it. But unfortunately, he did die at the end. So moving on, it brings them back to 1,000 gold lead, not 2,000 anymore. So they're closing the gap just a little bit more here on the side of GSU. And for that here, looking at the gold now, even though 2-0 for the side of Forgotten Legends, he is actually still just barely behind his laning partner of I Drink Bleach, who is at 182 gold, or excuse me, 182 CS, and it's really just that passive of Parlay that's granting him that lead.
Yeah, mainly just that additional gold coming on in from the Parlay does start to pick up a lot once you get into that later part where you're able to just clear wave so easily with that combo. Oreo still wants to try and siege up this mid lane, and this is kind of an awkward thing. We haven't seen really Embry be like this at any point. Georgia kind of has a little bit of a foothold here if they decide to go for any kind of fights where the Nasus is around.
Yeah, and this is really that ultimate test. This is where it's become at that point of an official mid-game here. Little bit delayed due to the wave clear that GSU has provided, but this is the point where everyone is looking for a certain thing or a certain action, a certain fumble, no matter what it is, to really find an advantage. And that's why the mid-game is so difficult in League of Legends, because anything can happen at any given time. Just as that cocoon happened onto Oreo, forcing him to retreat, things such as being caught out in the bot lane, being caught out in the enemy jungle, just getting vision control for the next objective to come up and start a next fight, because both of these teams don't really have that strong of a siege in a sense of 5 against 5. If it's a solo sort of situation, or if it's staggered at all, Embry has the advantage because of Oreo. They can get those really, really well. But the fact that Tynus is there, Forgotten Legend is there to shove him back and create this presence on the turret, it's delaying these advantages that Embry could be giving themselves. Because as you've been seeing for literally the past 8 minutes, Forgotten Legend has been there. Oreo pushes, Forgotten Legend replies. Oreo pushes again, Forgotten or Scarlet is able to reply. So it's always this constant answer to the strategy of Embry that GSU is able to stay in this game and possibly even pull out a victory, because right now it's looking pretty good for him.
Well, GSU now all starting to roam around this dragon. Look to maybe pick up this water drake. They're going to go ahead and start. They have the scuttle crab too. Llama Wolf knows this is going on. Can do a cheeky little steal if he uses the shadow step to go on in through the wall. Going down very low. Doesn't look like he even wants to attempt it, as Scarlet will pick it up. The Ziggs ultimate actually used there to try to steal it away. And actually, Bush didn't even have to use Smite. That's pretty confident when you're going against a Kane. But speaking of confidence right now, Plasma using that Kane up at top lane. He picks up the kill, and now he's going to start pushing. This is the issue. They have to find a way to deal with this Nasus.
And the Nasus split push is on. This is the game, and this is the timer sense now for the side of Embry. They have to bring up an answer that is effective against this Nasus. And it looks like Drink Bleach, he might be looking for it.
It looks like he gets the barrel combo. That was very well done, actually. Picks up the shutdown. And we were a little concerned there. We were like, Drink Bleach, he could get just chunked away. And that's the thing we talked about. This Nasus, he gets onto any of these squishies, he will rip them apart.
Yeah, luckily Drink Bleach, I believe, is going the Storm Raider Surge. So when he was able to get that good chunk with the barrels initially, he got that 70% movement speed and that immunity to slows. So really, the Wither didn't really do anything whatsoever against him. Was able to go ahead and even cleanse it off as well. I think he did that. So he was able to just dance around Nasus and pick up the kill. But deciding not to push it, though. Deciding just to go back, keep farming up. And I think it's an interesting decision, but nonetheless, you need to help out your team when it needs to be. And I guess they called him out to help him in the mid lane. Oreo still struggling against Forgotten Legend. And we saw him on that Vel'Koz in the last game. He did pretty well in the support role, maybe with the extra gold that he's supplied to in the mid lane. Could possibly be a good game turner for him. He is going Marilla Nomicon, does have the Haunted Guys, and Tear the Goddess as well. So already the recipes in his build do spell out a massive damage.
Yeah, this is kind of the issue here for Embry, is they don't really have a traditional ADC that can build like a Bork or anything to kite down this Nasus. You're mainly relying on trying to burst him down, and if he's able to survive, they look to go on in. There's the combo! Huge damage coming out from Oreo. He picks up a kill. The Vel'Koz will get taken down by some beautiful barrels as well from I Drink Bleach, and now the tower, the focus here, if they want to try and go again.
And a perfect answer there. The numbers were staggered. They did not have Plasma just yet. They found the weakness, they got the dive, and they get the success. And now here, Solaire looking for more.
Oh, he goes on in. Problem Child picks up the kill. Plasma uses the ultimate. Featherstorm comes back, doesn't rip back the feathers just in time as I Drink Bleach able to just step away there. And they pick up another one. Now Embry starting to pick up some pressure. Looking to really punish some picks here. They got to keep fighting like this, really forcing aggression, because they win these 5v3s, 5v4s. It's only the 5v5s that I think they have trouble with.
Yeah, pretty much. The 5v4s is going to be the general concern for them. And for me, for the side of GSU, split pushing is still a good threat against the team of Embry, because we did see that it is extremely hard for them to take down this Nasus. Split pushing could give them a good relief off of mid lane or even any other point of the map, because really they're just keeping their sights on this mid lane to open it up, get some advantages onto that, because that's the one turret that's standing with Lamb and Wolf.
Oh, going straight on in. They pick up the kill. Oreo will finish him off with the ultimate. That's the thing. Now that Solaire has that righteous glory, he can just run on in. And the satchel charge will actually knock back Plasma, keep him from aggressing onto the team.
And it looks like that dive in the mid lane where they got, I believe it was a man wipe there on the side of Embry, was pretty much the game opener. They were able to get that lead, get the advantages, and oh, Lemon Wolf picking up a kill on the backside.
Goes on over. We see he's actually chosen to go into that Shadow Assassin form, but Plasma is still alive. Can't 1v4 though, double kill coming out from I Drink Bleach, and now they can really siege onto the base and look to pick up an inhibitor possibly.
Yeah. Another 4-for-0 success here for the side of Embry. Their siege has now skyrocketed, and now there's no way really for the side of GSU to stop this sieging potential of Embry Riddle, because really they need all the ultimates they can get to just push the minions off. And Solaire, with his ultimate, he can just dive and not really feel a thing as the turret wails on him and allows the rest of his squishy members of his team to just do what they need to do, get onto the backline, get the kills, and then disengage, with Solaire only going down to about half health. Now 47,000 to 41. 6,000 gold lead is now suddenly and massively expanded onto their advantage.
Like you saw, took away those towers, and now they are so far ahead. They pick up another one up on that top side to even add on to it. A lot of members now sitting on a couple thousand gold. They're going to be buying some items. This Gangplank is going to start to hurt. He has enough to finish off that Infinity Edge. And you saw the barrels in the last team fight. He was able just to rip apart the team, get those onto the backside, and just chunk out so many members.
Yeah, completely chunking away at GSU Paradox. And now this is where the answer to the problem of Embry Esports is going to be very hard to sort of discover and reply to for the side of GSU, because Nasus no longer can really do anything in these fights. He can't 5v5 with him. He can't split push, because now Gangplank can perfectly answer him with the Infinity Edge, just push him away and still reply to any fights going on. Dragon will be up in 7 seconds. It is another Ocean Drake, so not really of a major interest whatsoever. It's really the Baron that everyone's going to be keeping their eyes on in a sense of a massive team fight, because literally there's no way for GSU to contest a Drake that they really don't value in a sense of any team fighting. It doesn't help them in sustain anymore. Doesn't really help them in any point of this game. But Solaire looking for another fight.
Oh, he gets stunned at the last second. They're not able to get the knockup, but huge damage coming through no matter what. The equalizer burning apart the team. Forgotten looking to pick up a kill here on Bleach. He's going to use those oranges to get away. Plasma still up, still has that ultimate, but he's on the backside. This isn't where he needs to be. He needs to try and rotate back, and now they're interrupting back. So they're going to take this inhibitor.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go ahead and take this one. Plasma jumping into the Flamin' Wolf, as well as Solaire. There goes the inhibitor. Here comes the disengagement. Bleach actually might be trouble. Yeah, a little stayed too long.
A little too close there. Gets knocked up by Forgotten Legend. Also the passive, but you can see Lamb Wolf going directly onto this carry. Gets the ultimate, picks up the kill, but at what cost? He's going to get taken down there by Plasma. Plasma no longer has that ultimate available, but there's not any sustained physical damage remaining here for Embry, so they're going to back off.
I'm going to decide go ahead and say that, you know, we've done as much damage as we can. Our carries are now dead, so let's go ahead and disengage. Oreo still, I think he's actually, the last game he was 6-0, I think. Actually, I think he went immortal last game, so he's also immortal in this one. So really good stats for him nonetheless. Playing very, very well for him in this bottom lane. Sort of kind of like that unsung hero because he's been so supportive, providing a lot of damage, a lot of zoning on both the Tristana pick and now the Ziggs pick, as well as Solaire. Solaire doing a phenomenal job on this Alistair now too, providing so many playmaking so much playmaking opportunities for him and the rest of his team. Baron is up, Dragon's down. Could be setting their sights on that fairly soon. But nonetheless, GSU is very, very down in the dumps here for this game too.
Really, it's just hoping that Embry oversteps somewhere, overcommit to a dive under a turret perhaps, but they're gotten to that point where that Alistar is able to tank all those turret shots for the team. Lamb and Wolf going on over. You see that damage from the center shot of the Gangplank ultimate. There was also the Ziggs ultimate used. Bush Sign able to get out there. There's a teleport from Problem Child, maybe a little late there. Wanted to try and get that equalizer down, but they're going to start up Baron.
They decide to go ahead and do that, and they can probably take this one fairly quickly. They have a Mountain Drake. It's already down to half health.
Got in. He uses that ultimate to try and wither them away. Bush trying to go over into the pit. Uses the blasting code right onto the thing. He repels instead of going for the Q-Spike combo. That was so close to being taken if he used the right ability, but Lamb and Wolf from behind, ripping apart the AD carry and the support. Double kill on the Shadow Assassin. He gets taken down. Plasma still up and ready with that ultimate, but he gets knocked away by Solaire. Drink Bleach trying to run away for his life. Uses that active to try and speed up. Survives the hit from the Siphoning Strike, and Plasma can't finish off the kill.
Unfortunately, isn't able to in a perfect disengagement there from the side of Embry, keeping their members alive. Except for Layman Wolf, who got a little bit greedy, being able to pick up, I think it was 3 kills for himself, or at least 2, as being 6, 6, and 3 here on the Kayn. Doing a wonderful job being able to get onto the backline and allowing freedom for Bleach and Oreo to just throw out as much damage as Problem. Not to mention Problem Child's Rumble as well, providing that zoning as well for his carries. And now GSU in pretty much the darkest moment for them in this game, as even though the kill score is extremely close, the gold lead is still in a massive 9,000 advantage for the side of Embry. And this is sort of where at this point the kill score was majorly different in game 1, but the goal difference was about the same, where we saw that forfeit come out from the side of GSU. Will they decide to go ahead and play this one out? I believe they have the tools for it. Like, Nasus is doing well. Plasma has been tanky enough to really cause a diversion, but he can't really peel for his team. Tynus is going in, but he's not really being defensive, and that's an issue of this one-dimensional Leona, as she can't really fully peel for her team. It's always sort of leaving you in that mindset of engage, engage, engage. And actually, we see an engage here.
Oh! Forgotten Legend is forgotten. He gets taken down. Shoot Plasma will pick up a kill. It's a double kill for this Rumble, and they pick up the kill on to that Nasus as well. 3 members of GSU going down. Flash Pulverize coming on in. That's a kill for Bleach, but try and turn it around. It's a double kill. Not enough, though, as the ace comes out for Embry, and they still have Oreo. They still have Solaire. They can look to possibly end the game.
They can definitely look to end it. There goes the satchel charge hop. That just means that his charge is going to be a little bit lower. It actually is already back up, ready to go. There goes 1, possibly 2 here for it, and this could be game. 5 seconds until Tynus, and 8 seconds until Vel'Koz is up, but nonetheless, the sieging potential of Embry will go ahead and solidify a victory for them as the Nexus is taken down. GG for Embry and GSU.
So GSU, it looks like their hopes of making the elimination bracket are demolished by this Ziggs, as they are now lost 2 of their best of 2s, and I think that puts them pretty close to being out of the race for it. Meanwhile, though, Embry showing up big this time and going to continue on their trek to try and make the elimination bracket.
And you have lanes on the side of Embry that consistently were able to grant leads for themselves, allowed Lamb and Wolf to really just do what he needed to in the jungle, provide some presence when he needed to, got that wonderful counter gank set up in the top lane for that first blood as well. And nonetheless, even though it was a much better fight from the side of GSU, it just was not enough to bring them back to grab a victory.
And you know what? I got to give it to them. Forgotten Legend on that Vel'Koz, if you're playing against them, you almost want to try and ban that one out because he was pretty good on the champion, was able to find some kills, but just wasn't able to do enough. So with that, guys, we're going to go ahead, take a quick step back, and set up our next game for you. We'll be right back.
From the four corners, ancient guardians wake. Who would stand against us?
Oh, shit!
Open up those gates.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Our journey continues. Body and spirit.
Oh, shit! You messing with the deer? The god deer? I'm gonna fuck all you all!
Open up those gates.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to AVGL's Collegiate League of Legends Championship. I'm here, OPL. With me is Coco the Dragon. We just saw two really nice matches in our last best of two, but we're starting to see our next two as we see Ole Miss taking on Greensboro.
Yeah, and these two teams, starting them up a little bit. For a general summary, key matchup, look for the jungle. Look for these guys to be making plays nonstop, back-to-back, and getting their laners ahead, because for this series, I feel like those are going to be the dictating players for most of the early game, and then once it hits about 25 minutes, whoever's done more pretty much is going to be solidifying a good victory for their teams.
Oh, with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and load on into the Rift quite shortly, and we should be getting ready to go quite shortly. Here we go.
All right, going into the game here now. So once again, key players, key matchup to watch is those junglers right now. And really for this one, it looks like Shirkson is going to be on Jarvan here, as Yujun is going to be on Lee Sin. Two very good early game pressure junglers already. So you can see this is where we're going to be wanting to keep our eyes on, as in the rest of the composition. Rest of the compositions outside of the bot lane of Link and Alaron are really scaling heavy, really into that split pushing, but Banana Smack,
he's gonna get stunned up there. The rest of the team following him. That's First Blood, even hitting the 5-man knock-up to really show he can at least hit the knock-up, so that's good, but he gets taken down there as where's Thresh Earth picks up the stun there. And that's the great thing about Braum at the early level 1. Sorry, I was having a giggle there. That's the first time I've seen the running animation for that skin on Braum, and I just lost it.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good, isn't it? But yeah,
just like, let's go. We're going to invade the jungle. Let's go.
Unmeister picking up the kill, though, for the First Blood, so immediately going onto the lane, Banana Smack. So unfortunate turn of events. Longsword is picked up for Unmeister's Gnar, so it's going to help out with that pushing even more. And for this one, really problematic for that top lane, because the matchup of Cho against Gnar is very dictating on how well Cho can just sort of relax and shut down the scaling potential of the Gnar, and already giving him First Blood. Not good news.
No, and that's kind of a difficult matchup. Like, Cho'Gath can sustain in the lane, but it takes just a little bit longer, and those early levels are going to really hurt now. He doesn't even have a flash to escape, so we might even see Surgeon decide to go up quite early in the game to try and snowball that even further if he decides to try and push back, so he's got to be careful. Yeah,
it definitely have to be careful, and also, as I mentioned, these teams very invested into scaling their lane matchups, except for this Link and Alaron one. It's really trying to get playmaking, trying to get the lead, shut down Sam L's Twitch, and pick up anything. But Shirkson, more kills on the top lane, possibly.
Oh, he actually interrupts that, and he's going to be able to get out. That was actually great placement on the Rupture. Was able to interrupt the flag drag mid-air, and he gets lucky and is able to run away from that one. You did see Surgeon, though. He decided to hold on to that as long as he possibly could to try and prevent that. Really good timing, though, from Banana.
Yeah, and Shirkson even threw out the flash as well, so an exhausted summoner on that one. Good turnaround for a Banana Smack, and as you said early on, even though he did get First Blood given away to his laning opponent, at least he can land his knockups.
You can see up in this, or down in this bot lane, actually. You see worse Thresh Earth going against a Thresh and Allurian. Going to be I find Braum and Thresh, they kind of do the same thing when it comes to it. Braum provides just a little bit more safety, I think, with that shield with skill shots. But they kind of go for the same thing. They look for a small amount of engagement. If they're able to land that stun, they go all in. Almost able to curve that one around the minion. Still goes on in. Is going to land that flash, or Slay, though. But you do see that shield from Braum able to keep the ADC protected from the Lucian.
Yeah, very well done there from worst Thresh's Braum, as he was able to get some good sustain and sort of disengage from that fight. Alaron got hit up by the concussive blows. Another good hook there from him. But again, as you said, yeah, can do the same things. But again, coming in from Shirkson, he is definitely showing his presence on the map. Will he get something?
Lands the stun there, gets the flash out of the ADC. Nice play coming out and preventing that flag drag, and now possibly a turnaround if the Thresh hook landed. That was a big one. Banana Smack has come on down. Here comes Unmeister from the top side with that Gnar. They landed. Actually, Link picks up the kill on that Lucian, is forced to heal, but Banana Smack knocks up the Braum back again. Now it's turning around. They want to try and pick off some more members, but they're going to be disengaged on, and they should be able to walk away. Very, very exciting early on in this game.
Unmeister trying to bite off more than he can chew here in that bottom lane. Wonderful job there. Link picking up the kill, and another thing that we actually didn't point out, Link decided to go Doran's Ring onto this Lucian. So it's kind of the same concept as if you guys remember that argument with Misfortune and Jin going for that Doran's Ring. You get those 2 health potions, which provides that sustain, and you already have a good amount of trading with your attack damage. It's mostly just for throwing out spells consistently. You have the mana regen, you keep scaling it up, you can just keep throwing out those piercing lights as much as he wants, and then Alaron getting stunned up again by concussive blows. Not a lot of summoners on their side. Sam L still has healing.
But the Flay comes out, Link picks up, not the kill, he gets turned around on, and Greensboro turns that one around as Zherskin comes down for the counter.
I think that Alaron thought that heal was down for Sam L and decided to try and go for some aggression there. But luckily, Sam L and Worst Thresh were able to bait that summoner spell, pick it up, get the kill just so barely that they could get the victory. And again, a way to remember how if someone used heal or not, click on whoever has that summoner spell after one of those fights, and if they have that debuff on it, you definitely know that they used the summoner spell. But again, going in, great turnaround, bringing it back for this bottom lane, and making sure that Twitch on Sam stays in this game, as well as also bring it back a little bit for Shurkson.
Yeah, Banana Smack with that teleport was able to pick up an assist. Unmeister did get taken out. Luckily, he still has that farm available for him, though, and should be able to keep on the pressure up in top lane. So we see the first backs coming out from our mid laners, and we'll start to really figure out what kind of builds. You see that Hex Tech starting to be built for that Proto Belt.
Yeah, Proto Belt going to be built up for him, and then most likely Morel and Namacon. Sang Xuan. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Please tell me if I pronounced that one right.
Well,
Sang Xuan, I believe.
You know, I was kind of waiting for you to say it for the first time. We'll go for that. We'll go for that. But in bot side, they want to keep going for some kills and get this Lucian rolling. See Elrond rocking right on up and using that Flay.
Yeah, it doesn't really take much for Link's Lucian to fall out of this game fairly quickly, because again, he is strong in that mid lane as a champion, and for the reason is because he has a lot of dueling and trading potential, as well as good wave clearing as well. But in this bottom lane, when you're dealing with a second member, it can spell a little bit of concern for him, because people can outclass, but a nice flash there from
Yujun, though, unfortunate. There was a minion that was still alive behind Worst Thresh Earth, and he wasn't able to land that Q. Got behind the wall, used that kick to get on over. Actually, Wardrop didn't even use the flash, and it's just unfortunate that there was a minion there.
Yeah, I was able to hop away to safety. Zhang Xuan going to go and flash away from that one, not wanting to deal with ICT's Vladimir, but actually might be having to.
He has that shield, is able to survive, did have to blow the flash and heal, so doesn't have any summoners. Link getting stunned up there. Unmeister up in topside, he gets them into the wall with the Meganar ultimate. Doesn't get the stun though, actually did get the stun, but doesn't have the damage to follow it up on this already pretty tanky naturally Cho'Gath.
Yeah, also Unmeister could have, I feel like he could have gotten that kill. He just didn't CC stagger too much, but oh, Worst Thresh, he might be in trouble.
He's having some trouble there. He gets taken down. Sam L is going to pick up the kill in response, but he is taken down by the Thresh. So a 2-for-1 in bot lane for the side of Ole Miss. And Greensboro and them, they want to keep fighting, but both these ADCs are going to be getting a lot of gold in their pocket. Yujun has come on over, but he's going to get surrounded, goes underneath his tower instead of trying to fight. And Unmeister and them are going to keep him from going anywhere. Had to use that control ward, unfortunately, to ward hop.
Yeah, interesting that Shurkson decided to tunnel onto Banana Smack and try and pick up a kill for him instead of turning for Yujun, but nonetheless, able to disengage safely with not much loss. But on the side here for Yujun, not going to be able to get his blue buff as Shurkson was able to steal it away.
Well, they're going to pick up that Scuttle Crab, get some vision for themselves around that Rift Herald pit. Rift Herald should be joining us quite shortly. But now we mentioned this jungle matchup being a key factor so far. Yujun has been making a lot of attempts, just hasn't been able to convert on them.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him that much in lanes in comparison to Shurkson, who Shurkson we saw at least 4 times, and pretty much for every single kill we've seen him there, where Yujun has pretty much been there for at least two times, I believe. Nice hook there, but not going to be really getting out of it because turret still exists, but nonetheless, ICT definitely putting the pressure up here. You can see Shergson hanging around that top. Will he get it?
He's got that Cataclysm. The Shockwave lands from the Orianna. Has that shield still available. ICT hasn't used the ultimate hit. It was on cooldown, so maybe need to coordinate those ultimates just a little bit better. He's going underneath the turret. Almost able to pick up the kill with the enhanced Q, but she will be able to live.
And this is also something that I really giggle at too, because the Cataclysm range sort of that creation, actually I have to hold on to here. Shergson is actually in trouble.
Ooh, has to flash over. Yujun waiting around. They're very aware he's right there. Aurelian gonna get that hook. Is gonna get stunned up though. The box is used. Teleport coming down from Banana Smack. They're gonna disengage. A very late reactionary teleport, but Banana Smack decides against it. Lands that knockup. ICT has that ultimate available. Isn't gonna go in though.
I really don't know why Unmeister decided to go ahead and just continue that teleport. They saw that things were coming out and disengagements were happening, so just delay the teleport, cancel it, let the lower cooldown, and then continue to push the top lane where Banana Smack will have to push forward. But I guess the decision was that they can go ahead and try and control the Cloud Drake, but then the pressure from the side of Greensboro decided to just force them back off.
Well, ICT does get knocked up there. He will be able to back off, has the support of his Gnar there. Meanwhile, in bot side, we keep coming back to this one. It is a bloody matchup, and they might go in on it again. Worst Thresh doesn't have any mana. He's forced to flash the heal as well from Sam L. Will keep him alive, but Greensboro, they like going aggressive even into this Thresh.
Yeah, we're not used to so much action in the bottom lane because we're used to just scaling hyper carry ADCs. You don't expect a Lucian in the bot lane from Link, so now ICT taking a lot of damage there in the mid lane. Where's Thresh going to be clearing out some wards? Looks like they're going to be looking for this Cloud Drake to pick up for themselves, but on the other side, Banana Smack and Yujun, they might be looking for a dive. He's hanging around there on the top side of the map, but if they want to make it worth for this Cloud Drake to take, maybe trade it off for that mid lane, but a ping coming out. I believe that they know Lee Sin is up there.
Well, we're waiting here. They're going to back off, get some items. You can start to see the zeal for that Twitch up in topside. Yujun wants to go in, lands the kick with the ward. He picks up the kill, but Banana going to take some turret shots to make sure he can survive. That's a kill going back on over to this Lee Sin, finally picking up a kill for himself.
Yeah, finally picking it up, getting the kills dead even on the board as well as gold. But that value of the Cloud Drake will help the roaming potential of Shergson. And not to mention, you could say worse Thresh to just get into the jungle and get some more vision control around. Cloud Drake, it is something that people like to praise it as a meme being the best Drake or the worst Drake, but it does have its benefits, and the benefits are able to rotate faster around the map and be able to create engagements and opportunities for playmaking a little bit more efficiently. So here now, Elrond and Link, they are definitely looking for those playmakings, making sure that they can try and shut down Sam L, but they're just not having a good time at it.
Well, they're going to land that stun. Sam L able to get lots of damage, hasn't even used his ultimate. He's going to get the E. Finally, Worst Thresh will pick it up. ICT has roamed on down, goes straight on to Link as Link is looking to get away. He won't, as ICT comes in with the enhanced Q as Sam L picks up the kill with the auto and just bursts him down at the last second. Now Greensboro with the lead.
Good play there from ICT, being able to balance his health bar just enough to where his ultimate and the enhanced Q were able to heal him back to safety of full health pretty much, as Sam L now sieging this bottom lane with Worst Thresh backing him up. Eugenia's going to go ahead and answer, see if he can defend it just a little bit longer, but 1,000 gold lead here now for the side of Ole Miss, and really it's almost pretty much on to this bottom lane of Sam L and Thresh.
Waiting at the moment for more action to happen. They started to grow a little bit of a 1.5k gold lead on the side of Greensboro. See ICT walking his way up. He can get those enhanced Qs and just chunk away this Orianna's health bar. Steal it for himself. He's starting to take off a bit, has roamed around, gotten some assists for himself. No kills yet, but Yujun might want to try and pick one up on him.
Yeah, no summoners available for ICT, so they could be looking for a possible kill. Also, Unmeister as well, but another fight in the bottom lane not happening, but here comes the battle.
Oh, Shockwave is able to just chunk out this Jarvan. Yujun forced a flash. The Orianna gonna flash up with those auto attacks in the blue buff and the red buff, the double kill for their mid laner. Sam L able to run away on this Twitch. Meanwhile, in bot side, the 3-1-2 Twitch, mind you, is going to be getting a lot of damage here shortly once he finishes up some of these items.
And because of our eyes being diverted to that middle lane, getting a good 2 kills for 0 there, you know, for the side of Greensboro. We also saw that the attempt for Sam L and Worst Thresh turned awry as they actually had Sam L fall fairly low. I believe he's actually under the turret, but heal was not available. It's just about to come back up as Link now putting on the pressure, looking for anything. Looks like a ping coming out from the side of Ole Miss, seeing if they could possibly collapse or just recall to safety. Won't know just yet, but Gold is once again back even after that mid-fight.
Waiting around here, there could be a possible attempt up in top side. Yujun actually gets knocked away there toward the tower. Yoon is forced to flash. Yujun is going to go down to the tower as Yoonmeister picks up the kill. Meanwhile, in bot side, there was an answer from this Jarvan to try and make a play on Banana. Is up in top side with ICT, gets ulted, is going to get slowly whittled away by this Vladimir. Yoon coming on over with the slow. That kill goes on over to Icy and get the first kill for this Vladimir. But here comes the Orianna from upside. He has that red buff slowly ticking away. The Scuttle Crab helping out right now. Actually a heal burn there from Ori, looking to maybe pick up a kill if she can. She sees where Icy is right now. Wants to just get that command dissidence to pick up the kill. Uses the shockwave instead, and Yoon able to shoot that one away.
Oh, getting away just by the skin of his teeth there, or by really the hop of his legs. You know, don't skip leg day. It could save your life there, and it saved it for Yoonmeister as he was able to get out safely. But with ICT, he's been doing a really good job reacting to plays. He's not really causing any forced engagements, but he's been coming down, cooperating with his off lanes, and getting a good pickup on some of the kills. He's 1-1-2, so he got that one there in the river, and then was able to go down to the bot lane, help him out just a little bit to see if they could force any summoners. Doing a good job nonetheless in his mid lane. Nothing like fantastical, but he's playing his part. He's doing what he can to keep his team sort of in the lead. I feel like red side right now for Ole Miss is slightly in advantage just due to the fact that their composition complements each other so much more.
Well, we have to see how it pans out as we look at a possible attempt on Allurin as he gets stunned up, uses the box, but here comes Yujun, gets the double knock-up. Link is coming on over, flashes into the middle of 3 members of the side of Greensboro, uses that culling to try and back off. Banana Smack has now joined the fight, looking to turn it around on this Shogath. He gets knocked up. Yoonmeister on the Gnar, trying to get close enough to use that ultimate on some members, doesn't land the stun. 4-man shockwave coming on down from this Orianna double kill for Yujin. Turning around, here comes Icy trying to make it happen. Link picks up the kill. Yoonmeister looking to answer for at least 1 life. Yujun with a triple kill on this Lee Sin after a beautiful combo.
Oh, what an amazing combo there by Zhang Shuai. Pick up, get that wonderful reaction. Was literally just a couple steps ahead of ICT. Was able to get in there, get the command shockwave, picks them all up, gets the 4-man. Splendid job there. This is why Orianna is always a high contested pick in the just massive team fights of just 5v5 competition in League of Legends. Doing a splendid job there. Doesn't matter if she's gotten nerfed to the ground or not. She still does her job, and she does it well.
And with that, they have the members to take this Cloud Drake for themselves. Gonna have 2 Cloud Drakes, so they're actually gonna be able to move around the map pretty fast here, and this is a great turnaround here for Ole Miss.
Yeah, great job here for both of them as getting the Cloud Drake, evening it out across the board. 1,000 gold lead for him as well, as Red Buff gonna go ahead and go over to Yujun as it's again 2-0-4 on that Orianna in the mid lane. Still staying pretty even in CS, but just barely, pretty much a blasting one ahead in gold right now. Just 850-ish or so there in the mid. And then for the bot lane, still going slightly in favor of Sam L on the Twitch. And as the game continues to go on, it's more bad news for him because Sam L on Twitch eventually will outscale and be outvaluable. But Thresh in trouble.
Yujun pays for his life, though, as Sam L is able to pick up the kill. You can see the workaround up into that top side, going to rotate, looking to take the first turret of the game if they can. They should be able to beat out the other lane. And that's going to be a nice influx of gold for Greensboro.
A good influx indeed, as red team destroying a turret, getting just barely keeping that gold advantage for themselves. So now Alaron back into this bottom lane. No Braum here for Sam L, so he'll have to disengage, and that will be a turret trade pretty much for the bot and the top. So 1-1 on the board, 11 kills evenly. Really close game here we have for us tonight, OPL. Will there be any massive turnaround? Because both the teams, they've gotten good advantages, and then literally minutes after, they just reply perfectly, get themselves back into the game. And for me, composition-wise, you still have a really strong late game for the side of Ole Miss, but Greensboro have to play a little bit more careful and focus around Sang Xuan on that Oriana, because he feels like that key playmaker in full-on 5v5 fights.
Yeah, if you can get rid of that Oriana, you have a solid chance of ending this one out. Really, I feel like that Rift Herald might be pretty important here. It went onto the side of Greensboro. They picked it up, went onto Yoonmeister. And if he's able to get into a solo lane, if you're able to kill that Cho'Gath, you can draw a lot of tension with that Rift Herald. It's an exciting game, Coco, and really, it's still anyone's game here. It just takes one more big fight, though, to really separate gold.
Any fight will separate these teams apart. Only 400 gold difference, really. And that 400 gold is pretty much just on the mid laners. But Hook coming in onto Thresh, kind of a little bit interesting play on words there. Thresh getting hooked by Thresh. As looks like a Eugene looking for a fight. Oh,
they get the shockwave. ICT picks up the kill. They're not able to finish off the Braum. And now Greensboro looking to clean up. That's a double kill for ICT. He will go down to the auto tax. Link looking to turn it around, but here comes Sam L on the Twitch with a double kill of his own with the shutdown. Greensboro turning around in mid lane, taking 4 members down for the price of 2.
And what an interesting fight we had there. It was 3 members on red side. Rift Herald still being summoned up. Yoonmeister was not in that fight whatsoever. Neither was Sam L. Sam L was running to the mid lane. And it was just ICT, Thresh, and Shirks in there. No real crucial members for Sang Xuan to really get a shockwave onto. And it was all up to ICT avoiding the shockwave, getting to that backline, and being able to obliterate him, the Oriana, and the Lee Sin, and being able to create a good lead for him. Now separating a 2,000, almost 3,000 gold lead, I believe, as side of Shirks and picking up that second turret. And Sam L going to go ahead and pick up the 4th, actually, here, as Rift Herald did its job in the top lane.
Yep. Luckily, Banana Smack went to that mid lane to try and hold that tower, but lost a second-tier tower to that Rift Herald, and in the end didn't even protect that mid lane much longer as it went down itself. So a nice bit of gold coming on into the side of Greensboro. Now up 3k, clearing out the wars around this Baron, just trying to get the vision for it.
Yeah, just making sure they can keep eyes on it. Dragon is in a minute 40. I believe you said, is this another Cloud Drake? Man, Cloud Drakes, dude, they always come in 3s, don't they? But
hey, they really want you to move fast. They want you to start running in the 90s, you know, start just booking it down lanes, but Yoonmeister getting a lot of damage there himself, and we could see a possibility here. The shockwave is available. It only hits 1 member. The Gnar ultimate takes it down. Sam L can just rip apart those 2 members. Banana Smack now around the corner. Yujun wants to possibly go on in, but with 2 members down, one of them being that shockwave of the Oriana, they can look at Baron.
Now looking at Baron now with the crucial member of Sang Xuan down on Greensboro. They'll be looking for a pickup onto this Baron. No contest whatsoever. You have Yujun, if you can see on the minimap, he's just at his Raptors right now. He doesn't even want to try and look for this Baron, as 38,000 to 43,000 in favor of Ole Miss. So now they'll be continuing on. Go ahead and recall. They still have 2 outer turrets to complete. They got the mid and the bot that they can look and set their eyes on. But if you look at the waves, you got a small wave in the top side for them. You have an actual wave pushing against them in the bottom lane, and then their mid lane is really the only place that is just resetting right now and just sort of grouping up. So they don't have anything fully set up for them, but they do have just slight methods to use the Baron, push in possibly, I'd say, bot lane turret, get that wave to push back and force into the turret there, and then just ward up the enemy jungle, ward up Greensboro, and make sure that you can always continuously catch them out, because that last fight was really Orianna being caught out, and they were able to aggress. She did miss up that shockwave, but nonetheless, that catch was crucial for this advantage on their side.
Well, it's a little embarrassing. I like to first apologize. I've actually mixed up my teams on my end. ICT, though, he's in a bad situation. He might be mixed up. He might not know what team he's on as he gets flayed on back. The rest of the team trying to support. Look at that damage, actually, from the top side right here. It's going to be a teleport coming over from Bananas back to try and turn it around. 3 members of Greensboro getting taken out. Ole Miss looking to pick it up. A double kill for this Vladimir. 4 members taken away, and with a little bit of a minion wave here, they can really siege down towers.
Yeah, he might have forgotten which side he was on, but the gold is always on his side right now with that 48,000 gold in his team's pocket. And individually, he has 10,000. He's 2,000 gold ahead of Zhangxuan's Orianna. So a phenomenal job that ICT is doing on this Vladimir, just making it work and completely baiting out that fight in the bottom lane, forcing the inhibitor, and just, again, focusing into that bot lane, getting that cleared out. Let's go ahead and rotate into that mid lane, get that turret. ICT is going to go ahead and do that for himself. And now a wave in the top side, not going to be able to clash onto that turret really for Greensboro. Is going to go ahead and just clear out the jungle now. Make sure that, once again, you got the advantages that you could without really forcing anything too greedily. Just go ahead and take the objectives and the camps in their jungle so they have nothing to come back to.
Well, they pick up that second Cloud Drake so they can rotate around the map. A 10,000 gold lead for the side of Ole Miss. Looking very comfortable right now. Want to try and finish off a couple more items, take another good fight, and maybe with a big minion wave in the bot side, look to possibly end this. Especially, I say this a lot, it's super important when teams have this far of an advantage at such a low point in the game of about 26 minutes, is you need to show that you can close out games when you have such a big advantage. Because actually Sam steals away the scuttle just to add some insult to injury. You gotta give him a break, guys.
Yeah, no, Eugene did not see that coming. Aside from the Lee Sin pun, we'll get that one out of the way. But with that now, Sam L just 9, 2, and 6 on Thresh. Holy moly! Like this is the problem that I saw with Greensboro's composition, is that when you put an AD carry that needs so much attention in the bot lane for him to get ahead early and to shut down a late game marksman like Twitch in a meta that complements the Twitch, it's just so many resources to be forced onto something that could be mediocre at best, and problems are coming out for Greensboro, and you can definitely see it as Lucian slowly becomes less and less valuable, and they put their trust more and more on the positioning of the Orianna, of the Bananas Mac being able to get to the backline and feasting Sam L, because really right now they have damage, but it's just so short range that they're always in trouble.
Oh, we could see a possibility of a fight here. T using that AoE, hasn't used the ultimate, taking a lot of damage from the culling, has to be a little bit careful here. Can still regen a lot with that ultimate if they decide to go all in. Decide against it right now, don't want to dive underneath this inhib tower just yet, waiting for the minions. Maybe try to do it on this push.
Trying to do it on this push indeed. 13 kills, 21, 54,000, 9,000 gold lead. Still, it's going to be hard shell to crack here for this defensive lineup, because Banana Smack, he can still clear waves. Link, even though I do talk him down in a sense of 5v5 output, he still has the capability to push and clear waves efficiently. So with this one going in, even with the deficiency that they have, they just need to wait for an opportunity, like the one that Alaron almost gave them, where he was offsides in a capability to go ahead and get a kill and force themselves into the turret, and without really any proper consequence. Shurikson looking for one as well. And the more that Greensboro is playing with fire, the more Ole Miss finds opportunities to just burn them away.
I can see them even walking up with no minions now. Orianna was forced down to that bot side to clear out some minions. The last 2 minutes here have just been pushing on up. They might try and get a catch here. ICT walks back on over to threaten. They really just are so hesitant to pull the trigger right now. They'd rather take the safe route and let bot push in.
Yeah, this is another difficult point of the game for all teams alike, is that when you're facing a team and you're trying to crack their defenses and they have a composition that can at least wave clear efficiently against you, how do you go ahead and get into their base and really just get to the Nexus, get to an inhibitor, whatever you need to do? Because even with the inhibitor down, Zhang Xuan's Orianna is able to reply perfectly, get clear waves, because even though super minions are extremely powerful, they are very immune to AP abilities. So being able to clear it out and get up to a point where now Baron is 40 seconds away almost, as the side of Ole Miss will be looking to set their sights on it. They already have all the vision that they need on. Just look at the map, really. Look at the mini map. All the vision there on that jungle. Like, you know, it really complements
up everywhere.
Yeah, it complements Thresh
and the bot side. Like,
it complements Thresh's Braum skin, being Christmassy, lighting up every single tree on the side of Greensboro's map, quite keeping up the festivities. But we just hit fall, kind of push those holiday seasons a little bit back. I want to wait. Let me get Halloween and Thanksgiving over before you do.
I know I won't, because we've already had snow up here in Calgary. It was ugly. It was slush. It wasn't like true snow, but it was so close that we were like, oh no, it's coming. After a summer where we had, I think, 1 or 2 days of rain. It was ridiculous. But you know what's ridiculous right now is Ole Miss wanting to try and getting a fight here. They keep trying right now. Keep trying to catch out June. He's been playing hyper aggressive on this Lee Sin. He's been landing Qs, but hasn't gone in because there's no opportunity for him.
Yeah, and a nice breather, though, for the side of Greensboro is that the inhibitors back up on their bot side. They don't really need to pay any attention to it or really cause any resources to be exhausted towards that bottom lane. Lets them do these fights, but ICT, he just wants to force it.
Look at this combo right now. Sam L can just rip him apart, get Shockwave. Banana's Bag actually picks up the kill onto ICT. Yoon is slowly working up that bar. He needs to go on in. Doesn't have the flash. There it is. He goes in, knocks back the Orianna. She goes down. Sam L picks up the kill. And now, if you're Ole Miss, you got rid of the wave clear, but you still don't have your mid laner or your top laner, so they're gonna back off. Maybe wait this one up. There is a dragon coming up shortly that they could maybe go for. Maybe go for Baron. It might be risky with no jungler. It'd be risky.
It'd be very risky. Ocean Drake is going to be the one that's going to be coming, so they could get that one just for the stat benefit of it. Pings coming out from the side of Greensboro, so they're thinking that Baron could be a possibility because they don't have any vision on it. Control wards are everywhere for the side of Ole Miss, so looking onto this one, they actually do smell them out here.
Oh,
they're looking for another fight.
They're going here. Sam L gets knocked up. Dragon goes on over to Ole Miss. Sam is still alive, hiding behind that barrier. He gets insect backed into the rest of the team. Link picks up the kill. Teleport coming over from you now on this Gnar. He'll get knocked. The health bar is going down solo for both teams. Flay coming out as well. Link trying to burn down this Braum. He finally will. But here comes Ice-T with the triple Hebo Plague as well. But he gets shut down as Banana Smack will interrupt him. He does take the ADC with him. And now the rest of the team following up. Gnar can just slow down this Thresh, looking to land just the Q. Thresh running for his life.
Running for his life indeed. He wants to make sure that he's wasting as much time of Ole Miss's, like, almost his clock as much as possible. And for that one, Sam L, ICT, everyone was just so cocky in that fight. Also for the side of Greensboro too, like, they were all trying to bite off more they can chew, and it just kept punishing each other back and forth. Makes it to where literally every single advantage that they were trying to grab was negated, and it's going to be just a full reset back into this fight. 33 minutes in, 62,000 gold to 53. Still, as I said, no lead was gained, but nothing was lost either.
And you're fine taking those fights if you're not losing anything there, because you're down 10,000 gold. The fact you can even come out even in this point is rather impressive.
Yeah.
And now it is just get this vision around the Baron, force it, because guess what? If Ole Miss starts up this Baron, secures it, I feel like they win.
Pretty much. I'd agree that too, because you get that buff from not just the minions, but you get the 40 power, 40 attack damage buff as well on top of it to boot. So with Twitch getting that, it's really just causing it would just cause that extra speed boost that they need, or that extra little pat on the back to really get them to an initial fight, because these games are so like these fights are so close between both of these teams, and that's what's amazing about it for the side of Greensboro is that you're like, wow, they're 10,000, 9,000 gold behind, and they're still staying even. How can they do that? But then you look and you just take a step back and you take a breather, and you're like, man, Ole Miss is getting greedy. They're getting sloppy, and that's what's happening for them. Is that some of these fumbles that they're giving to the side of Greensboro is keeping this game extended past what it really should have been. And now, Barron, ready and primed to go for this fight. They're going to look to bait it. Shirkson going to go ahead and flag and drag out, but Zhang Chuan, I think he's learned his lesson from so much of getting caught out that he's like, all right, I'm just going to sit back. I want to wait for Sam L to show his face, and I'm just going to blow him up as fast as possible.
Yeah, if you're able to catch out a jungler, that should be an automatic. Barrett, if they have vision, they are going to see 3 members here. I feel like they could go for this if they wanted to. Twitch can absolutely rip through the Baron. They've started right now.
Yep, they can do it. He's 10-3-7. He's got Blade of the Ruin King, Infinity Edge, and he's got 90% crit, I believe. 90 or 80% crit from the items that he has. But they smell this out. They're like, okay, we don't see the members. We should be looking for this fight. And they try. Baron has already been taken down. Could this be a possible fight? You can see the members of Ole Miss are collapsing down.
Sam going around the side right now. He's undetected. Has that ultimate. If he decides to go for it, only is going to use the poison to cask. Coming on up, looking for a team here, but now they have the Baron minions to push on underneath these towers, and I feel like we could see a dive if they wanted to go for it. Still waiting here. Banana still pretty healthy on this Shogath. Jarvan going on in Yujun. That's a very risky play, man. They actually hook onto Yoon, but that's not the person you want as he transforms on over. And now they're rotating to this bot side. Might go for a play. They're going to go straight onto this Orianna Cataclysm. Shockwave still ready and available. She gets taken down before it can happen. Sam ripping apart that team with Jarvan at the helm, with them, taking them down. The stuns are going to land. A double kill for this Twitch. A triple kill to end it off. And with that, Ole Miss should close this one out.
And just one step too far, one toe across the line, and Ole Miss finds the opportunity. They look for it. They take it. Link having to flash back. He is going to just say, okay, you know what, 6 deaths. It's enough for me. Make it, just let it ride. Let it ride. Baron's taken. Turrets are down. Looks like it's going to be a victory for Ole Miss.
They pick up Link at the very last second. Nexus will fall, though, as Ole Miss take game 1 here in the best of 2. Rather a close game, but it really opened up after those top lane fights.
Yeah, and those top lane fights, and even I'd say also maybe some of those mid fights too, like the game really extended way too far in that later stage. Like we were at around 33 minutes. People were fighting back and forth. Things were getting sloppy. People were getting, I wouldn't say they weren't getting tired, but they were getting very impatient. That's really what was happening, is that ICT was like, you know, we've been stalling too long. We need to fight. And it just dragged out more and more as he kept getting caught out. Other members were getting caught out as well from the side of Ole Miss. And eventually they were like, okay, we need to play patient. Let's get this. Mark off the checklist, do your notes, and we get it. Now we're good. Now we got the win. So with that one, going into the second game, it's such an extremely close game for both of these teams. I'm just expecting another bloodbath and another close one.
No, I'm excited to see what game 2 holds for us, as we're going to go ahead, take a quick step back, and when we come back, can we see if Ole Miss can close out this series, or can Greensboro at least tie it up, take a point from themselves, and try and make it into the playoffs? Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to AVGL's coverage of their Collegiate League of Legends Championship. It's Game 2 here between Ole Miss and North Carolina Greensboro. I'm excited to see how this one came out. There was a lot of fights the last game. Should be a bloody one here. I'm joined by Coco the Dragon. Coco, what are you feeling so far as we get into the game here? We get to see some swaps overall on the side here of Greensboro.
Yeah, so a pretty big swap up too. So for sort of a fresh kind of trade-up for you guys, make it a little bit more verbal as you look at the visuals too on it. So Link, who used to be AD carry, is now mid laner. Song Xuan, who was mid, is now top, and Banana Smack, who was top, is now AD carry. So full three-man swap on that one. Yujun still jungle, and Alaron is still on that support. He's also still on the Thresh, so you got that going for you, which is nice. But for the rest of the teams on the other side, everyone is pretty much on the same comp except for ICT and UNMeister, who decided to pick up Orianna and Renekton.
Yeah, so actually, I feel like Orianna kind of does the same thing as the Vladimir, just not as much sustain built in the kit, but still mega CC has a mega AoE on top of now some additional some crowd control. Already messing up my words. It's game 4. We're starting to deteriorate maybe, but overall, I'm excited to see how this one goes.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this one goes too and see if Greensboro is able to make a comeback. Looks like they decided to stay on the same side too, stay on blue side for this one. And with that, it can provide, like, usually the pick and ban is what you want it most crucially for which side you want. So picking up the Tristana instead of the Lucian this time. So I think from that one, I think they learned their lesson in a sense of, look, Lucian was nice. He did damage early, but you could not contest with Samuel's Twitch, later on in the game, and you just pretty much just became this weird asset and this kind of handicap for your team because you had to just continuously find area for your room to get in and get close and get the damage out on Lucian. But this time around, also UNMeister on Renekton, not as really big pushing, but Link is also having trouble in the mid lane. I do like the Victor pickup though. I like it. I think it's good.
No, it gives them the ability to have some nice AoE damage. Already had to pop the summoners, though, in that mid lane, so we should be seeing this Jarvan re-enter as he was playing a lot of pressure in the last game. Often was the main catalyst early game for a lot of those kills going on over to Ole Miss.
Yeah, definitely for that one. Is now looking around right now, lane's playing pretty patient at the moment. Sung Xuan getting a good lead in the top side. And as a matter of fact, he's about 6 CS up now. Outside of that, everyone else is pretty dead even across the board. Getting some harass, though. You got to be afraid of the Renekton with his early game aggression. He can always cause a lot of problems for any top laner. And he actually dropped Zhongzhuan off of his mount, off of Skarl. And that will force him to stay at that bar. That is the problem with Kled. Oh, actually a flash!
Yep, flashes on in, wants first blood, not able to get Skarl back. As UNMeister picks that one up for himself after being pushed underneath tower, going heavily aggressive there, and he picks up.
Yeah, picks up that first blood. Wonderful job. Again, I was just like iterating that Renekton, always a trouble for almost every single top laner in this game. He's so good at aggressing, so good at bullying around, picking up that first blood for himself too. 21 CS 13 now, but it does allow Zhong Xuan to go back and get a second Dorn's Blade. What will UNMeister decide to buy? Will he decide to just go rush for possibly a Tiamat? Will he be going for maybe a Phage for Black Cleaver?
There it is.
Looks like it's the recipe for the Tiamat on this one, and gets the refillable potion to boot.
So gonna have some sustain on top of already what's in his kit with that refillable. And likely will keep on going aggressive into this matchup, because that's the big thing about Renekton. That is the reason you pick Renekton, is to win the lane. You are allowed to be aggressive into a melee matchup like that. And as long as he can keep it going, he can snowball out of control.
Definitely. And also looking into the mid lane, something that for ICT and for Link, I like the I like the Victor because it's something that keeps even with Orianna, can push just as fast, if not faster, than Orianna, and can create roams, creates pretty much just as much zoning and utility in fights as Orianna does, and punches out just as much damage, even not more. Like, he's just slightly better than Orianna, but he's something that as his kit comes out, he doesn't really complement his team as efficiently as, say, Orianna would with the wombo combo potential. So now Infernal Drake is the first dragon of this map, so this one is looking to be a bloody one because they're going to want to get advantages and aggression and presence around that objective.
Yeah, we see Yujun on this Hecarim as well, was around the area for bot side. Is a little bit of a scuffle there. Some abilities used, but nobody going to be going down just yet. As Herjun going to keep up that pressure. They want to try and get this bot lane ahead, because Sam, as long as he's on this Twitch and is able to position correctly, he can just rip apart this team. We saw it last game.
Yeah, we saw it last game where he was able to get a good positioning in the, I believe it was the river actually, where he was able to just tear through 3 members so quickly and so efficiently. That's why you love Twitch, and that's why you pick him up. But Tristana, unlike Lucian, actually gets a good amount of range. And I believe with our last series you talked about it, her energized attacks at around level 13, 14 are just so hard to deal with for any composition whatsoever. And that's why she's a top contested AD carry at the moment. We'll be seeing her at Worlds, as a matter of fact. But with this one, Zhang Xuan, even though he lost to First Blood, he's not dropping down.
And that he doesn't have an ultimate to boot. Here comes Yujun on the Hecarim, though, to answer for it. He picks up the kill against the Renekton. And Hecarim able to pick one up for himself.
Good bait there by the side of Zhang Xuan and for Yujun, but it looks like Shurkson seeing if he can try and get the horse for himself. Nice shockwave.
Oh, the auto! Ooh. Coming on through for ICT there. Even through the ultimate. Can't run away from those. And ICT will pick up a kill for himself in that Orianna and bring it back to the mid lane.
Gosh darn, autos being able to follow me for infinite amount of time, but nonetheless, able to get that kill, able to get that fight back. But actually, more fights in the bottom lane. Sam L might be in trouble.
The barrier comes up to protect him from some of those auto attacks. He's going down pretty low there. Can't get hooked again. Needs to be a little bit careful here in the lane. Should be able to sustain it back up. Does have that Dorn shield, so he does slowly regen in the lane. Has a little bit of extra protection in the kit.
Yeah, going to be able to go ahead and stay a little bit safer with the Dorn's shield, as you said, able to regen back up a little bit more efficiently than you would with a Doran's blade. So, going into about 7 minutes of the game. Shurkson, are you going to die to Krugs? I hope you don't.
Ooh. got a little scary there. He says, I can't deal with the 2 mini ones. Don't want to buy my luck there.
Nope.
You know what? It's happened to me before. Kind of like right now up in top lane. I've also had Skarl and them going quite aggressive to me with that Kled. I was also saying, you know, I've died in jungle a couple times. I can see how it feels.
As again a Phil main, I'm not really used to jungle that much, but there's a reason why I avoid the Krugs so much. Also the Raptors. I just don't like those 2 camps. They just kill you so fast.
Hey,
the
chickens are very lethal. Those guys early on, like, I didn't expect it. When they changed that camp up, I was like, oh, I can still do this. I'm like level 2. I just got eaten down, and I was like, oh, the chickens aren't so fried. But up in top lane, we might be eating some alligator as Kled picks up the kill. Now in bot side, the Cataclysm is available, but level 6 for the Tristana to disengage if they want to.
Yeah, and summoners are available outside of the exhaust, so they'll go ahead and not really try and force anything too far, because it could force themselves a little bit too many resources for him. But Yujin also looking, nice flash, ICT.
Yeah, ICT gets knocked back on the end of the animation flash, so is actually put farther behind Yujun. It's rare you want to actually flash towards your opponent, but he did, so gutsy. But a lot of aggression here from Jarvan. They do pick up the kill. Yujun gets taken down, not able to escape with the ultimate. Shockwave used just a little bit too early there onto Jarvan, and that Chaos Storm slowly taken away. He's able to get out there. Yujun is not around. Link is the one that gets taken down.
Yeah, sort of a mix-up on that one with all these roster swaps in the roles, but nonetheless, fairly close fight, but Sam L might be getting aggressed on by Alaron and Banana Smack. Don't think it's a fight that they want to take. Flash is forced.
Sam is getting super low, forces the heal out of him. Banana Smack standing his ground on the Tristana, standing in melee range. Actually shocked Worstfresh never actually auto-attacked her, but she does get out, and he's actually being forced to go back, so they're going to lose a little bit of farm here. As a flash from Worst Thresh, able to dodge the hook too. But here comes Yujun on the pony. This Hecarim is everywhere, looking to pick up the kill. He can't find the Twitch though.
No.
And now the turnaround from Jarvan coming down the river, looking to be aggressive here. Gotta be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to bite off two more than he can chew, and he should be getting out.
Yeah, not too much, but Zhangxuan, he is always trying to contest this Yunmeister. He's just like, you know what, I need a purse, I need boots, I need everything alligator skin right now, but he's not being able to pick up kills without the help of his jungler on Yujun. But Yujun, as you said, he's been everywhere, but his effect on the lanes is like subpar. It's always back and forth. He was able to force things out, and then he lost that mid lane fight. He's helping out his top laner, but again, only 2 kills for the side of Greensboro and 4 on the side of Ole Miss. What is it going to take for these guys to come back around and sort of gain a lead for the first time in the series, really? And for me, the answer is pretty much shut down Yunmeister and then focus on the bot lane immediately after.
Well, ICT pushing that in, has a little bit of a lead here. Dive up in topside. The Kled going aggressive right now. Yoon does not have the ultimate to regen back up. Meanwhile, in mid lane, here comes Yuju to join the party. Shutdown goes on over to him. Chaos Storm taken away right now. Link looking to pick up the kill with the Death Ray. Double kill for the Hecarim.
Double kill. Perfect gank there from Yujun. Another one of those flip-ups, and for this time, it landed on a victory for them and being able to turn it around 5-4. As a matter of fact, right when I said they needed to find a way to get themselves into a lead the first time in the series, they shut down Yunmeister, and then they immediately rotated to another lane and got a perfect kill. Wonderful job there from the side of Greensboro.
You can see Sam being a little sneaky. Did have a bomb right on top of his head. Not that sneaky. Banana Smack liking the jump on in with this Tristana. Starting to get a little bit of a CS lead here in bot side. We could be seeing some aggression. Really, whatever team is able to take the bot side tower, or at least take a good fight here, should be looking at this Infernal Drake, as it was the first dragon to spawn for us.
Yeah, Infernal Drake still. Got to keep your eyes set on it. Vision control is pretty good for the side of Ole Miss. They have 3 control wards around. 1 is more defensive for the bottom lane, and then 2 literally twinned up right next to each other for that river control. They got their little sort of border control for that bottom side of the river going on. As Vision on the side of Greensboro, it's there. It's much more on the top side, where around Rift Herald and for Zhangxuan, so he can know if Sturkston's going to come and try and help out Yunmeister, which is good, but Banana Smack actually in trouble.
Oh, the shockwave almost clips her. Luckily, Ice-T is able to pick up a kill for it. And now, with 4 members on this bot side, they are looking for this Infernal Drake right away.
Gonna be looking for it indeed, as this will extremely help them out in the later stages of the game. It is only an 8% bonus damage buff right now. It's something that's like, okay, it's not that great sounding on pretty much the board right now because of just the damage that they sort of lack, because right now Sam L, he doesn't have a BF sword at all. He's just immediately rushing for either Runons or Stack Shiv, but actually Shurkton rushing into mid.
Link gets taken down. This is the story of the game, is the junglers. Yujun on the magic pony himself. Gonna give that kill on over to Banana Smack. Isn't able to pick up the kill on Sam. But we mentioned it in the first game, the jungle matchup would be a key one, and both of them making impacts.
Wonderful impacts indeed. Worst Thresh going down in the bottom lane there. Yujun going 3 and 2 right now. You can see that he's going for that cliche, rushing for the true before Sam L is in trouble. He's gonna die.
He's gonna get ticked out there by the bomb. Gotta be careful here. Yoon actually teleported on down. And we're seeing a change here. Sam L on that Twitch getting abused here early in comparison to last game. Banana Smack laying down the smacking with his Tristana.
Yeah, and 5 of the 6 kills on the side of Ole Miss are on ICT's Orianna. So with all these changes and fights going on between all these offlaners and the junglers, it's pretty dead even because, again, ICT is right now the gold bank for him, and Yujun looking to see if he can shut it down.
Pony is everywhere right now. Shockwave him into the tower range. He'll pick up the kill to turn around with that Orianna. Actually, we haven't mentioned this. Orianna 6-1-0, has 6 of the 7 kills. ICT is huge, but I don't know if he's huge enough to take down this Hecarim.
He has heal.
The ultimate from Kled coming on over. He has the heal to mitigate enough damage, but he will be taken down in the end by Link on the Victor.
You know, if you throw enough at him, eventually the wall will fall. Yunmeister ulting, interesting, looking like he's trying to choose Banana Smack. He has he has heal, and he also has that, so he can just go ahead and rocket jump away. Interesting strategy from Yunmeister. Pretty bold, but this rotation from the bot to the top now will allow themselves to see if they can get a turret. Zhang going in onto Sam L. Will he be able to pick up a kill?
Oh, getting down a little bit low here is going to get turned around, though, as the ultimate used by Braum. Not going to find anything else as Skarl runs away.
Into the brush he goes. Shurikson is around. You can look at the minimap there as he might be looking for a potential pick, but ping's coming out. Warning signs are shot off as looks like Link and Illyrion were looking to see if they could find something and sort of counter gank. Teleport coming out from the side of Kled, and pretty quick, he's just Kled. He's not Skarl, he's just Kled.
He's not, but he's got Skarl back at the last second, and that's enough to help him as he picks up the kill. We were a little bit questioning that one, but that's the thing about Kled in the 1v1. It's, well, Yujun wants to interrupt me on this pony. The Shockwave coming out, he'll trade 1-for-1 as the Thresh and Jarvan, but now they see Banana Smack has used that jump available, just able to get away. The flash auto from the Twitch is going to pick it up. Chaos Storm on top of Sam L. Death Ray lands. They're trying to do what they can. Worst Thresh will pick up the kill. Lands that Q, looking for the stun. Double kill for Sam L.
Wonderful job there. Even though they lost their main carry of ICT in the beginning of that fight, Sam L got free reign over that skirmish there in the rivers as he was just able to completely shred apart the team of Greensboro, picking up 2 kills for himself. I believe it was 1 kill over to ICT just before he fell. And again, this is why Thresh is just such a good pick. He's just so capable of just tearing people down, even with just a Runon's Hurricane. He's just doing so much hurt right now. Not even a BF sword in his pocket.
Well, that's the stacks. If you're able to get your auto attacks, I'm not sure what keystone he's exactly running, whether or not it's the attack speed one or the sustain, but they're looking to pick up the first tower. Won't find it, though. Sam needs to run away, able to get the stun, and, well, that's gonna suck for a Kled. They also pick up the first tower gold from that tower. Worst Thresh will lose his life, but it might be worth it. Here comes Charge, though, from the side. Everyone running down this Twitch. Yujun picks up the kill.
Yeah, Exterminators decided to go ahead and use everything they could to just completely obliterate the rat here on Sam L, and making the score again dead even. 29,000 gold on each team. 12 kills on each team. Turret on one side, though, as well as an Infernal Drake over to Ole Miss. Still doing a splendid job holding what they can. Is continuing this defensive line of turrets for this first tier, helping them sort of stay even with all the vision control side for this side of Greensboro. It is not enough for them to really find any convincing leads once again, as their advantages are invested onto Sungjuan's Kled and onto Yujun's Hecarim. Everyone else is pretty much playing subpar at the moment, ain't doing too good for themselves, but nonetheless, Rift Herald going to be seen for the side of Ole Miss. Will they be able to get it? Yunmeister looking to see if he can skirmish the Kled.
He wants to go toe-to-toe, looking to clear out the wave. The rest of the team coming on over to support him. Unfortunately, Kled only's got about 1,100 health, looking to pick up the kill. He's not going to get Skarl back. He gets shut down by Yun on that Renekton.
Yeah, immediately when you see that the Rift Herald was taken, he just got that light in his head. He's like, I'm in trouble. There's probably 2 other members around sometime, and fortunately he did fall to the hands, I believe it was of Yunmeister that was able to get that one. And that Cloud Drake's up. They can go ahead and take this one. I don't think that Ole Miss is that concerned about losing the Cloud Drake whatsoever, but you know, it's always nice to have as many dragons as possible under your belt. But it allows Rift Herald to be ramming down on that top lane.
Yujun goes on in, trying to make up for this, but guess what? You have a Rift Herald going into your base, guys. You gotta back off. Luckily, that Kled gets back up on the respawn. Should be able to at least stop it from taking the tower up in the topside inhibitor. And right now, Ole Miss, it's weird because they're looking to get more objectives, or at least more pressure around the map, but the goal is still dead even, actually slightly in favor of North Carolina Greensboro.
Yeah, which is always amazing on how that works. And if you take a step back, look at everything that's going on, it's literally just the CS that's helping them stay in this game. They're just doing slightly better than their opponents. Yujun is 123 CS to the 70 of Shurkson. That's a pretty considerable gold advantage in just jungle aspect for all the clearing the value of them. Looking at the gold, he's 2,000 gold ahead of Shurkson. Yujun is literally keeping his team slightly in the game here, just ever so barely, just holding on for him as continuing on. Baron is live. Shurkson looking for something, trying to see if he can shut down the horse.
Well, Yujun actually used that smite to on the Baron there, so he's able to get just a tiny bit of, I think he gets a small sliver of boost speed, I think, technically. Even with that blue buff, or blue smite, it's weird with the Baron, but either way, he's able to get out of there with the pony and not be taken out, not to be caught out, because that is the next big objective here, is that Baron. You get to a point now that a lot of kills, a lot of gold has been exchanged. These people could start tearing it down, especially when you have an Infernal Drake.
Yeah, especially when you have an Infernal Drake. Next Drake's going to be up is going to be a Mountain Drake, so will help with objective claiming for either team. Nonetheless, as both of these teams, they have somewhat okay siege potential. It's for Banana Smack, you have the Tristana for Greensboro, and then for the side of Ole Miss, you have like Twitch, which he's not as great of a siege, but Yujun
goes right on in. Shockwave lands onto one member. Kled from the top side looking to dive on into these carries. Sam able to kite back with his Twitch. He's still not down. Worth Thresh will be taken out. It's a 1-for-1. Maybe want to try and re-engage now on the side of Ole Miss. Getting that Orianna, trying to get the AoE slow. Not going to land it. And somehow only the support's going down here.
Only just the supports. An amazing fight between both of those teams. Looking for the engagement. Not enough damage on either side, but we're still able to pick off at least something, keeping this game, again, pretty much dead even. 37,000 gold on each side as Shurkson and Sam L, they're going to be looking for that final outer tier turret in the bottom lane. It's only at, I think it's about a 3rd health. No, it's actually at a 4th health right now, as with the only outer turret in pretty much up and available for them, they can go ahead and take that one down, get the final objective, sort of 1,000 gold that it gives you or so, and then look for more sites, create more vision into the jungle of Greensboro. Make sure you can create that trench line, get the vision, get some picks, get some team fights. We'll get everything going sort of for the checklist for Ole Miss. It's take down that final outer tier turret, start warding up the interior of Greensboro's jungle, and then fight and bait river objectives. From there, you'll have the capability to do team fighting a little bit more efficiently than them. You have Sam L's Twitch, who's been doing very well. You have ICT's Orianna, who's been doing phenomenally, and you also have the brutal Yoonmeister and Shurkson to just distract the backline carries of Greensboro. So with that Ole Miss, they have a plan set out on them. Will they be able to execute it?
Waiting around here right now for the next objective for them to take. Dragon is, they look like on the side here of Greensboro, they want to try and fight. They have this Hecarim that's been diving into the backside, and I don't understand how more members didn't die there, because he was on top of everybody. It was a beautiful, again, across the side of the team. Only one of them going down here. So we see some pressure now toward this Baron, just clearing out some wards.
Just clearing out as much as they can, trying to deny as much vision as possible. And then on the flip side, because of such the dead, like just
they catch out the jungler. Yeah, they catch out the jungler as well as the Victor. The Cataclysm will seal his fate. Banana Smack going toe-to-toe with Sam. He gets taken out by the rat. Here comes the ultimate, though, from Kled. You can't stop that one. And now they're looking to siege on underneath. Hecarim going down solo. Yujun has to try and run away. He should be able to get out. And in the end, it's going to be Ole Miss picking up a turret and maybe a little bit more.
And perfectly, they're able to find a catch into this jungle, push this turret in the mid lane down, looking to see if they can siege this one up. 13 seconds until both carry members of Greensboro are available to fight, and they're going to go ahead and possibly look for this inhibitor. Yujun's available. He's rearing to go. He has ultimate. No, he does not have ultimate. It is down. Ooh, they're gonna go ahead and disengage safely away from this.
They
But
catch
actually,
it
no.
already. They're going on in. ICT somehow still alive right now. He has the Sonias, and Yujun will be taken out. But guess what? Kled is around. He wants to try and finish off. Huge Chaos Storm, able to pick up so much damage. They take down the Oriana. Here comes another 10. Link is cleaning up right now. Here comes that Tristana with the resets, jumping all over the place. And with the team wiped, they can look at one of these objectives.
They could possibly go for Baron, but Yujun is down, so that will be a no on that side. Dragon is up in 3 seconds. They could look for Dragon. They've got this bottom tier turret now for them. They can get 2 turrets to 5, evening the score back up. Only 1,000 gold lead now in favor of Ole Miss. As with this one, they're going to go ahead and take the second turret down. Possibly after that, go for the Dragon. It is that Mountain Drake once again. It'll help them with the objective control and claim of it. But now, once again, that fight with the bot in the mid lane, sorry, it was all because of just staying a little bit too long. They were able to get it. I think it was really just a safe retreat, but then they decided to go back and defend for ICT, and that's what caused the fallback, because it gave the carries of Banana Smack and of Link to be able to catch up and cause some damage and force Song Xuan to able to catch up. So nonetheless,
Ole Miss.
down.
They're looking to start up the Baron right now. The rest of the team. Here comes that Kled. All they can just run on over to try and answer. Dive into the backside. Shockwave lands on 2. Sam L ripping apart the team with the Twitch ultimate. The Jarvan trapping them on in. Sam needs to land a kill. It's going to be a shutdown going on over to the Oriana. And right now, members are falling across the map. 4 for 3 in favor of Greensboro.
So much movement speed there, so much initiation, but he will run faster than Unmeister as he's going to try and pick up this kill. But Smack's in trouble. Oh my god,
he gets taken out. Going a little bit really aggressive. Yoon picking up the kill on Banana. Banana has been kind of standing pretty close in a lot of these fights, and that's actually the first time I've seen him very punished for it. And now with both teams pretty much wiped across the board, still 21-21. We have a murder on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Gold almost dead even. Still anyone's game, but those super minions applying pressure on the Nexus towers.
Applying pressure, need to go ahead and disengage, force themselves off of that. So close of a game here for this second game of the series between Ole Miss and Greensboro. Now for Yujun and the rest of the squad of Blue Side. I'm going to be looking to see if they can get more vision onto this Baron, because they are pretty much blotted out and they're in utter darkness, so they need to find at least anything to make sure that they know where the movements of Ole Miss are, where they can find anything whatsoever. Where's Thresher? Looking to see if they can find Alaron once again, he's been in a lot of trouble throughout this whole entire series. He's just been getting caught out, been dying. He is 0-5 and 12 at the moment, but still, it's always a struggle for a support.
They're starting this one back up. They have all 5 members of their team. I think Ole Miss have this right now. It's only a Thresh. Yujun is so far away, he can't move that fast on the Hecarim, and Baron will go on over to Ole Miss. And now with that Scuttlecrab boost, they're looking to maybe catch out a member or 2.
With the pressure from Worst Thresh's Braum as well as ICT, just sort of pushing them off, and then the massive wave bottom lane that Zhang Xuan had to answer without a teleport. They saw it perfectly. They saw the vision. They saw, okay, Kled's bot. He does not have teleport. We can go ahead and move back up, create some pressure, and we can take Baron with ease, and that is exactly what they did. Now they have again about 1,500, so 1,500 gold.
Charge
ultimate
coming on in. Yujun is also there as well, still has that ultimate going through the backside of the team. Shockwave lands the knock up. Sam Al still alive. He will get taken down by the pony, but the rest of the team looking to clear up. The Chaos Storm did a lot of damage there, but this Renekton on top of the carries is able to clean up. Yujun going down very low. He gets knocked up. There was a Gargoyle Stoneblade also popped by the Jarvan. ICT, he gets taken down by Kled. Yujun and them fighting neck and neck. Yoon gets a heal from the Renekton, but it's going to be enough as it's a 4 for 3 in the end. Yujun and Kled just cleaning up.
And tank meta is OP. Yujun getting a wonderful job. I don't think this is a good fight, Yujun. No,
just a little too aggressive there as the minions. Just a little aggressive. I know he's the magic pony. Friendship is magic, but maybe just a little too aggressive. Not looking so much as a war pony, more or less looking like a stuffed animal at that point. But in the end, we're still almost dead even here, but a Nexus Tower almost falling there.
And nonetheless, it makes that, again, a dead even 4-for-4 trade there with Yujun falling at the very end. With that 54,000, it's still that 1,500 gold lead for the side of Ole Miss. Everything's pretty much stayed even throughout the board, and as we watch that fight, they immediately focus Sam L. They're able to get the kill on Sam L, but they spent so many resources to take down the Twitch that they left ICT available. Then, after he fell, ICT just was immediately focused on. Yujun and Zheng Xuan were able to take him down, and it was again that tank meta of just who hits harder, and came out with the side of Greensboro. In a result, they eventually were able to out-bruiser, but it was just unfortunate that Yujun got a little bit too greedy, making it 25-25. 50 kills in a 31-minute game. You have 57,000 gold pretty much for each team as well. Once it gets to about 70,000 gold for a whole team value, that's when the gold leads will start to pretty much be irrelevant. But throughout this whole entire game, there's really been never any considerable gold lead for either of these teams.
Waiting around right now, it's now just a reset, waiting for another Baron to spawn, another Dragon, 40 seconds on the clock for one of those objectives to at least come up. Right now, both of these teams on the razor's edge, 25-25, gold practically dead even at a 31-minute game. I'm excited to see how this one pans out. Yujun on this Hecarim has been going in so deep in a lot of these fights. The Jarvan has gone pretty tanky himself, but speaking of tanks, it's Kled able to run over the wall. Shockwave is going to land. Might be enough to at least get rid of them out. Meanwhile, over at the Dragon Pit, Sam L gets stunned up. He's able to pick up a double kill there. Death Ray comes out a triple kill for the Twitch before he goes down. Yujun looking to hunt down this Orianna even with the exhaust. Kled coming on in with the charge. It's just tanks versus tanks at the moment as they're fighting in around the pit. Kled picks up a kill. Yujun and them looking to clean up this fight. A double kill for Kled coming out here. Yoon trying to run away. He gets bear trapped on a rope right there. He will get taken down, and the ace will be there for Greensboro.
And an amazing job there from Zhang Xuan and Yujun. Again, the dynamic duo of bruisers. One on a horse, or one is a horse, and the other is on a weird lizard ostrich thing. But no matter the mount, they were able to do their job and be able to take the victory and be able to get the ace. Finally catching themselves back up, able to take a dead even lead once again. Will they be able to get this inhibitor turret? Maybe. It is just Yujun, but nonetheless, he does a good amount of damage. Sam L is now up. ICT's up in 3 seconds. They get the turret. Time to disengage and time to ride out as the Pony Express picks up a victory.
Waiting around here right now. I feel like if Zhang didn't actually back there, they could have maybe gone an inhib tower because they do have a lot of damage here. I'm not too sure what the decision there. In the end, though, they will pick up their third dragon of the game, being that Infernal Drake. Sam looking around right here. They're going to try and catch out this Thresh. I believe he has flash. He will go over the wall and just survive. So don't lose anything but the summoner spell on the support.
Yeah, just a summoner spell for that one, being able to disengage, being able to pick up that Infernal Drake, evening the score between 8% bonus damage for each and every one of them. And really, you got to ask yourself, how is this team coming down? How is Greensboro able to make these victories so close? Because their carries are just getting obliterated, their damage is going down, but when it comes down to it, it's really just the massive amount of health and defense that Zhang Xuan and Yujun bring to the table, and not to mention, Kled on its own provides so much shred on the side of just, I believe it's a W, which is called, oh, hold on with me here. I believe it is.
It does the percent health on the
yeah, it's the percent health,
yeah.
But it's, there it is, violent tendencies. And it does 14% of the target's maximum health on the 4th hit. And that thing's up every like 6 seconds, which is ridiculous. So with that shred from him and just the beefiness and sustain from Yujun's Hecarim, they're able to survive these fights. And luckily, they're able to at least take down one carry before the rest of their team is able to fall down. So luckily for Greensboro, they have the opportunity to take this lead and convert it into a possible victory. But with only 2,000 gold, oh, Yujun
He finds the Jarvan. ICT actually back. This is a 4v5 if they decide to take it. He's running on over from the base. Jarvan will get taken down, and Zhang picks up a kill. But Sam, ripping apart the team with the spray paint, picks up a double kill. Most likely it won't be going on over. Gravity Field will prevent it from happening. ICT finally rejoins the team, and that could actually went a much different way if ICT was still there.
Yeah, it could have gone any way if it was a 5-on-5. Luckily, we were able to catch and make it victory for them. Baron is now up and available. No jungler, though, for either team, so no one's going to be really looking for that one just yet. Go ahead and level themselves out. Go ahead and do a full reset, lick their wounds. I'm still amazed that Yujun is 100 CS ahead of Shurkson. He's 235 CS to 130. He has more CS than his AD carry.
Oh.
Like...
He's got so much, like, he's farmed
so
up.
He's so
he's beef. He also has the Sheen with that Trinity Force, so he's able to do some decent damage. That's kind of how he was able to take that inhibitor tower earlier, was mainly because he had that ability to proc the Sheen often, and he's able to get on any carries. He can do a decent amount of damage. Yeah,
decent amount of damage for sure. He also has that sustain from his W that can heal up when people damage around an aura. Baron's, again, is live. The next dragon up is going to be the Elder Drake. So, if the side of Greensboro gets it, it could change the tides, turn the tides of any fight they want for the next, I think it's like 2.5, 3 minutes that buff is up. It's a pretty short buff statistically, but it's a heavy hitter for sure. So now 68,000 to 67,000, just barely a gold lead, and it's mostly just due to the fact that Yujun's Hecarim, as well as, Zhang Xuan's Kled is so big. Like, these two guys are pretty much their entire team, and then they're just relying on the damage of the rest of their team, of Link, of Banana Smack, to be able to take down either ICT or Sam L. From there, they pretty much just take it and could probably 2v4.
Oh, at the moment, it's just trading vision around this Baron pit and waiting for a team fight here. One team fight could end it. Now that we've hit that 37-minute mark and there's an exposed Nexus on either side, they could just look to end it. Yoon wants to go in. He has the Orianna ball on top of him. Zhang will be able to just walk away. Sam also has that GA available to him. So the Twitch now has to be killed twice. Full build Twitch at 37 minutes. Lots of gold, lots of kills. Jarvan goes on in the jungle. Yujun and them see him spotted out right now. Yujun wants to dive in on the back of the team. Stunned so many people with that fear, but he's all alone. Nobody coming in. The charge will come on over from the Kled. Zhang on top of Sam. Sam able to kite it back. Banana with a big kill right now. Sam kiting on back with that Twitch. Needs to kite even more. Yujun is looking to find it. They're going to take down that Renekton. Sam going down solo. They pop the GA. Link just trying to pick up some kills, and Greensboro, they might have done it. They could look for the base if they are able to catch out Sam. Sam gets taken down. This could be it.
They're looking for it. Guardians Angel just waiting for it. There's the hook, and there's the kill. Inhibitor is open. They could go ahead and get it right now. It's just, they're already at the bottom lane. Go get it. Zhengchuan's going to be pushing into the mid lane here to be able to, if they can get this turret, might be able to get some more. It's 30 seconds on Yoonmeister. ICT is still waiting for 20 seconds, as well as Shurkson. Sam L is on 40 right now, so that's going to be an inhibitor for the side of Greensboro.
Keep going. They waited just a little too long. That additional tower in mid lane stalled them up just long enough. We got some pings going on over to the Baron. They might have waited just a little too long here because you have all the members starting to come back up. Sam still down, and they decide not to go for it.
I feel like they should have gone at least for that second inhibitor. Get those two inhibitors, force so much pressure onto the side of Ole Miss. And even though you recall a little bit later due to the respawns, Sam L is still down. Their AD carry is still down, and even if you did recall in time, they wouldn't have been able to even contest Baron until he was up and available, because he is the damage that they need for it. So go ahead, take that inhibitor, safely recall back. But now the board is almost fully reset. Baron is available.
They starting up this Baron. No one on the side of Ole Miss is coming on over. That's a Baron going on over to North Carolina, Greensboro, and now looking toward the mid. See some pings going on over to maybe this Elder Drake right now. They're actually going to try and take both of these top objectives. Charge used by Kled, looking to get there just a little bit faster, and they're going to start up this Elder Drake. They have to be careful, though. This Elder Drake does so much damage to them, but look how fast they rip it apart. Now, it's how Ole Miss decides to take this fight, decides the game. Yujun goes on in. You see the Cataclysm. Sam ripping apart the team. He's still alive. Going to pick up 1 kill. Looks to pick up another kill. That's a double for the ADC. They have not killed Sam. Triple kill. Gonna be the last thing to come up. And they wipe out Greensboro.
What a wonderful job supporting Sam L, picking up the triple kill. Could have been an unofficial quadrant if he wanted to stick around. But even then, a grand job of just splitting up the team. The good part of Greensboro's team composition was staying clumped together, allowing the area of effect of Link and of Banana Smack to really create so much damage in a small zone. And they forced out Banana Smack, killed Link early, and for the rest of this fight, it was literally just them trying to protect Sam L as much as possible. ICT did what he had to do, and unfortunately Zhang Xuan and Yujun were not able to get to the rat. With that, Inhibitor is now down. Another reset is happening, and even though they're 5,000 gold down, excuse me, they are still in this, and this is a dead even battle here for the second game of the series.
You mentioned earlier that if they took that second inhib, they would have applied so much pressure at that point that they would have had to force Ole Miss to really decide on how they wanted to play this, because there was a chance they would have lost a lot of objectives if they lost that fight. They decided that that's the one they wanted to take. Sam had great positioning, was able to go off, get a triple kill. Now just waiting out how Ole Miss decides to try and get back into this one. They're slightly below in goal, but like you said, this is a dead even game. It's going to be another team fight that decides this.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's at the point where one team fight decides everything here for both of the teams between Ole Miss and Greensboro, and it is going to rely on 2 key players. You've got Sam L and ICT on one side, and then on the 2 key players of the other, it is Zhang Xuan, and it is probably, I'd say, Yujun or Link, and it's pretty tied up, but I'd say it would be Yujun, because you just got to create so much peel, kill the carries as fast as possible, and then continue on. Guardians Angels are down for Sam L. Also, it is down for the side of Yujun as well, I believe. So those are down. Also, Banana Smack's Guardians Angel is down as well. So you've got no real defenses ready to go for any of these teams to sort of set and reset for their carries. It is going to be a completely raw fight. Whoever wins it, wins it.
Waiting here, Yujun runs straight up into the base. Here comes the charge from Kled. They want to fight right now. It's dangerous. The knockups from the Grand. They're still not able to get out. Shockwave lands onto Banana's back. That is huge. Sam going solo. Redemption. Sam, how are you still alive? He picks up 1 kill in his base. Wants to go back again. Death Laser almost takes him out. That would have been huge. And only losing 1 member. They are lucky to have survived that. Glowing health bars. Look at Link. Look at Yujun. Actually, a little risky there, aggroing the Raptor camp. I'm getting ganked at the moment, but still, insanely close game. Only 1 member dies.
Yeah, only 1 member, and even it was just fight to disengage. Zhang Xuan fell again. I reiterate, Zhang Xuan was one of the key members for the side of Greensboro to win these fights. With him falling, they have to force the retreat, reset, get back onto focus, find this Twitch, find Sam. Once you find Sam, you can get to ICT faster, because ICT is allowing so much peel, so much just attention towards him, that Sam L can just really do what he wants with Worst Earth, because Worst Earth, he has Redemption, he has, oh geez, what's that? Locket of Iron Solari, as my brain makes apart, as well as Knight's Vow. Like, this guy is literally making Sam L immortal.
He flashes on into Link. Link is down. Sam picks up the kill. Only 1 member down, but that's a huge one. That is your mid lane. That is your wave clear. If they decide to push in onto this base, they are looking at it. They have the super minions available, 4v5. Ole Miss looking to end this. Greensboro have to make a miracle stand, have to use a Nexus or something, but it's so late game, those don't even matter. Jarvan jumps on in. Shockwave lands. They get rid of the Tristana immediately. She's out of the fight. Yujun on the side right now. Sam still alive. Has that GA. Picks up a kill. Looking for another one. That's going to be a GA popped on the side here. Ole Miss, I think they've done it. Yujun goes on down. Double kill for Sam L. Looking to push onto the base. One Nexus Tower falls. The knockup not going to land here. You, Ole Miss, take game 2, take the series in total, and keep on going.
And what a splendid job between both of these teams, keeping it even so close throughout the entire series. And in the end, Sam L was pretty much the key factor for both of the games. He was able on Twitch to just do so much damage, be able to create so much attention towards him, focusing down, shredding apart the front line of the side of Greensboro. And in the end, the appeal and the attention that was given towards him on that Twitch helped him and helped his team just move forward into a victory. And that's why hyper carry AD carries are just so good right now. They are just able to tear apart once they get their items, win fights for your team if they are just left unattended.
And you saw they tried everything to try and get Sam dead in those fights. You had Yujun literally ulting right on top of him, looking to just knock him around. The GAs, though, coming up huge. And overall, that fight at Elder Drake is what really kept this game in their hands, because they were falling apart. They were losing objectives, but Sam was able to stay alive. Ice-T was able with that Orianna also to keep him alive with the shields. It was just an excellent team play all around from Ole Miss.
Yeah, it was a splendid job from Ole Miss, and you also got to give kudos to the side of Greensboro. They fought the good fight. They tried as hard as they could. They did a good amount of right things. They had a good composition set up, but unfortunately, the gold wasn't on the right people, I'd say. Like, I feel that if you had some more gold on the Link, if you had some more gold onto the Tristana of Banana Smack, that really those could have caused the complete frontline shred to go down faster and more efficient. But in the end, it was Ole Miss picking up the victory. Well fought. There are some scratches that they need to patch up a little bit, but nonetheless, wonderful job from both of the teams, and it was a great, fun series to watch.
And a great, fun night of series. Awesome 4 games we had to cast tonight. Thank you, Coco, for coming out, and thank you guys for tuning on in to AVGL's coverage of their Collegiate League of Legends Championship. Tomorrow, we will be back with plenty of League of Legends. I believe we actually have kind of a double time slot broadcast where there's going to be a plenty of games to cover. We're really excited. If they're anything like this last game, it should be awesome. So with that, it should be amazing. So that, guys, But overall, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to the